Yes, hello and welcome to Bankwest Stadium for the 2019 National Premier League's New South Wales Men's Grand Final between APIA Leichhardt and Sydney United 58. APIA Leichhardt have been in the Grand Final the last 2 seasons. Unfortunately for the Tigers, it's ended in defeat on both of those occasions. Will it be third time lucky for APIA? While Sydney United 58, they haven't won a championship for 13 years. They come in, though, in red-hot form. They booked their Grand Final place, dispatching Marconi, Blacktown City FC and the premiers, the Wollongong Wolves. One thing we do know tonight here at Bankwest Stadium, it will be a drought breaker for one team. Unfortunately, the loser, it'll be more Grand Final disappointment. It will be a blockbuster. It will be special. I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, the mood in the camp is as you expect in a Grand Final. Very exciting. A little nervous, but exciting would be the main thing. So you can look behind me, the boys are buzzing, they're feeling good, they're ready to go. It's a new stadium, it's our third time round, which we want to get right. So there's so much there to be excited about, and that's the feel of the camp this week.
Some of the great players that have come through this team and club, to be able to say I've been the captain of it is a great privilege. It's
amazing to be part of a club that now for the third year in a row in the Grand Final. For me, it's a bit more meaningful because this is my club. I've been here over 20 years of my playing career. I'm a local Italian background. There's so many things that mean a lot to me, but I'm playing with my mates. So making the Grand Final the third time isn't as important as this playing group this year that we've committed at the start of the season to make the Grand Final, and here we are as a playing group of 2019 in the Grand Final. So it's everything we wanted it to be.
It is. It's a special club to be at. It is our third year. It's my first year being here, and it's amazing to get the opportunity to play in a final, and hoping I can help the boys get over the line this time.
Our aim is to win this Grand Final, but it's a great honour for the team to have made 3 Grand Finals in a row, but our real focus is on making sure we win this one.
I couldn't have done it with a better bunch of guys, so yeah, it's great to be able to play with them week in, week out, train with them every night.
So we're playing at Bankwest, which is very exciting, and it's a new stadium in many ways. I don't think there's been a professional football game on there. I know the Wanderers have had some friendly games, so I believe we're the first professional football game to ever play on Bankwest. So there's a lot more to it than just being the grand final of the NPL. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, all you APIA people come out and support us and be nice and loud, and let's make sure boys know that you're there, and we want to come out on Saturday and win this championship, not only for us but for all the fans as well. So come out and support us.
Got the plenty, controversy and quality football right across the NPL New South Wales scene this weekend. And what's this great rivalry between Sydney United and APIA Leichhardt Tigers going to produce for us this evening? The 20s, got 20 minutes in that one.
And this year have gone one step
as United build down the left-hand side through Perry. In plugging that Payne hole. Here's Bixo again, an excellent delivery for Parisi. Bixo ducking inside on the left foot. Now knocking it to Parisi. Uchino, is he going to try his luck? Guttis. Now Bixo finds Galimi. The 1-2 looking inside. Now it falls. Kuda! Straight at the keeper in the end. Play on that right side, also in that number 9 role. Can also play on the left side of attack. Here's Payne. Takes the shot. Can't get it on target just before the break. It's gone down the other end now. Payne on the volley. What a strike! Chris Payne with one of the goals of the season. An absolute screamer on the volley. The ball over the top from Necheski. But he's back in the NPL top flight. Here he is on the ball now. Receiving from Trefiro and combining with Glenn Trefiro. McDonald now with a chance to strike! And Necheski smothering, getting out sharply to his left. Not a bad effort at all, that one from McDonald. Curtis, what a ball that is. Kipbox now. Keeping his composure, teeing it up, and what a block that is. What a Marlow it was. Trefiro denied. Here he is laying up to Lukas. Stavroulakis gets a second chance. Now and tell me, there it is, the equals not at level. What a bit of play that was, a terrific passage. The excellent ball out there from Pagat, finding McDonald. Advantage here from Adrian Arndt. Good refereeing. The ball out on that far side. Perry with a chance to shoot. Nichevsky gathers it. Now here's Vlastelica pressured by Bixo. Corey Bixo inside. Payne with room and space. Excellent defensive work, Stavroulakis. What a piece of the play that was. Payne in space. Still part of things here with 25 or so minutes to go. Parisi trying to slip one in for Payne. Behind headline act, one of the headline acts in the season, Chris Payne. He moved across from United. Can he score his hat-trick here? Indeed he can. Chris Payne puts it away and puts this one to bed, you'd think. 3-1 out to the APIA Leichhardt Tigers. Here's Bixo, very influential, earning that penalty. Now Payne, was that hands? Wanted the penalty again. Finds Trefiro. Dinks it inside, looking for Rose. The combination now with Trefiro. What a ball that is. The weight on that superb. Here's Liam Rose. Oh, just wide. An excellent bit of play. What about the... And that's the end of it. What a classic. APIA coming here to the home of Sydney United. In
reach for it to Muatamalo. It's a red card. So Muatamalo will go off and APIA go down to 10. Nice turn. Here's a chance going forward. United, they'll get a free kick again, and that was centimetres in the area. I think you'll find Roberts will pull rank here. And a huge chance for United again. It will be Roberts to take. What is he in store for United? Roberts! Oh, what a save from Nichevsky. See the confidence. United playing with all of a sudden. In the most unlikely fashion, and Chris Payne has another against his former club. I don't know if they'll give it to him. It counts nonetheless. An APIA lead by a goal to nil. It has been all Sydney United 58. And out of nothing, they take the lead. Yes, hello, welcome to Bankwest Stadium for the 2019 NPL New South Wales Grand Final as APIA Leichhardt and Sydney United 58 go head-to-head for the right to be crowned champions. Both have tasted the hurt of Grand Final defeat. APIA and Sydney United 58 have lost their last two Grand Final appearances. The Tigers were last champions in 2003, while the Reds lifted the trophy last in 2006. Both have been involved in some epic encounters in recent seasons. Is there another enthralling contest in store tonight? The NPL New South Wales has the honour of the first ever competitive game of football at this new venue. A historic chapter about to be written. Adam Santarossa and Tony Tanous here with you in commentary. Tony, you've got the lineups.
Yes, Adam, for APIA Leichhardt Tigers, they make one change from the Tillabong to get into the grand final. John Kalaja bringing Josh Simmons back in. Full lineup in goals: Ivan Nachevsky, a back four of Tynan Diaz, Temba Muatamalo, Josh Simmons and Paul Galimi. The holding midfielders are Adrian Uccino and Sam McElhatton. And it's a front four of Corey Bixo, Franco Parisi, Sean Simmons, and up front, Chris Payne. The substitutes for APIA Leichhardt Tigers: Luke Turnbull, Lachlan Hughes, Domnaz Drabati, Michael Kuda and Nick Stavroulakis. As for Sydney United, Mira Vlastelica also makes one change to the team. They got through the preliminary final last week. In goals, Tom Manos, a back four of Yanni Fragigianis, Thomas Lavuskok, Adrian Vlastelica and Christian Gonzalez. The midfield three are Liam Rose, Matt Sim and Tariq Mayer, and the front three, Peter Simonovsky, Patrick Antelmi, and coming into the side, Matt Bilic. The substitutes for Sydney United: Daniel Sadaka, Jordan Roberts, Peter Markovic, Anthony Tomilic, and Josh McDonald.
And Tony, it's been fast and ferocious this final series. APIA Leichhardt have had the week off. Not such a luxury for Sydney United 58. It's 5 games in 14 days for them. But some are saying it could be a godsend. The momentum is a wonderful thing. The man in charge, Sydney United 58. Yeah, all blue away kit, APIA their traditional colours. The 2019 Grand Final is underway here at Bankwest Stadium. Both sides have felt the hurt of Grand Final defeat. Trying to change that perspective here tonight. Tamalo wins a strong header early. Maybe some nervous touches. It is a big occasion.
Yeah, huge occasion. Great to be here at Bankwest Stadium. So many big games played here across the history of Australian football. A lot of grand finals across the NSL era. These two sides, two of the great sides from that NSL era. And it's fantastic to see two traditional powerhouses here. Two of the most successful sides on this grand occasion.
We saw Sydney United trying to shift it early. Simonovsky can play as a striker. Playing more of a wide role tonight as Uscott intercepts one of the 5 players who were part of the squad in 2016 when they were last in the grand final. Ended in defeat to Blacktown that day. They search for Antelmi. He's a man in form, 6 in his last 6. At the other end, Chris Payne has 6 in his last 7. They're the two we'll be talking about. They've banged in the goals to get their sides to this grand final, and there's obviously a story. Chris Payne, formerly of Sydney United 58. They want to get one over his former employers, but it's United looking promising early. Simonovsky Simmons with it for APIA. Pass is going astray early. Those nerves I spoke about. Fragoyanis, chance to send it across in. No one. What you seen there, Bilic uses his body well and win the throw.
Talk about the momentum, and Sydney United certainly picking up where they have left off through the finals on the front foot early.
Here's Rose. Fragoyanis. Send it forward and tell me a target. They'll rise in the air again. Well won by Bilic. Couldn't direct it on goal.
So he comes into the starting 11 today. Matt Bilic, the big story, of course, on Wednesday night. Yanni Perkatis in the FFA Cup game against the West Sydney Wanderers was sent off in that game. So the tactical adjustment from Miro Vlastelica. He's moved Liam Rose into the base of the midfield three. He's moved Matt Sim into that twin 10 role alongside Tariq Mayer, and that's brought Bilic into the starting 11 on the left side of attack.
Bilic showing his versatility again. Here he is on the ball. Can hit them from distance. Now tries luck early. As a wing back at times this year. Nice build up again from United. Do they have the end product? Sim searching ball. And tell me, here's a chance for United. It will be a goal kick. Cries of handball in the area, but probably more so on the Sydney United side of things.
Such a physical presence, Patrick Antelmi, and they really look to play off him, and they are on the front foot very much early on. It's been an excellent start from Sydney United. They are the team that like to possess. They fancy themselves in possession, and those two players at the front of that midfield three are really key today, Tariq Mayer and Matt Sim.
Well, they've looked a different side in this finals campaign, and it's no surprise Patrick Antelmi, who was playing cameo roles for large parts of the season, coming off the bench and playing 15-20 minutes. His movement into the starting side, it's not only brought goals, but they look a different team entirely.
Yeah, he's certainly such a powerhouse in that number 9 role. Takes the role of target man. You can see him here just laying it off. This time he doesn't find his target, but such an influential figure for Sydney United.
All these players, every time he gets on the ball, it looks like something's going to happen. Chris Payne, another one of those for APIA. 23 goals this season for Payne. He's looking to do some defensive work here as Rose tries to hustle. Sim getting the touches early for United. Here's Antelmi, the man we spoke of. They get a second bite at this Antelmi. Just wouldn't sit for him in the area. They'll get the first corner of the game though.
Positive signs again for Sydney United. They managed to get Matt Sim between the lines. So that's what they've been trying to do in the final series. It's been very clear. Usually Liam Rose and Tariq Mayer, but today it's Matt Sim playing, and he's got himself between the lines, facing forward, trying to run at that APIA defence.
First test for APIA's defence here in this grand final. Sim to take, goes with a short one. Have they caught them napping? Tariq Mayer can hit them from range. Sims puts it in the mix-up. Numbers at the far post. They'll get another corner. So APIA nervy defensively of them.
Certainly on the back foot early on. It has been Sydney United just moving the ball around. They love to get it into the wide areas and open things up, create the overloads in those wide areas. And that key area in front of the APIA back four.
They do have the height advantage. United against the APIA defence. Again, they go to the far post. Vlastelica wins the header. Wants a handball. No interest from referee Abraham.
There's been a lot of talk around the APIA side, having lost the last 2 grand finals. Terrific achievement to make their 3rd consecutive grand final. Desperately want to get the job done today. The Sydney United have motivation of their own. They lost out in 2016.
Blacktown defeating them that day. That last win for Sydney United 58, 2006, a 4-0 win over Blacktown City FC. Luka Glavash with all 4. Memorable grand final on that day. They want to replicate that here today. It's been a 13-year wait, 16 years for APIA. One of those droughts will be broken.
Funnily enough, I was speaking to Peter Markovic, the veteran who's in his last game for Sydney United just before the game, and he did reflect on that 2006 run, in fact, where they didn't have the best start to the season. They came home very strong in the second half of the year under John Paul DiMarini, and they took that into the final series. And the goalkeeper for Blacktown that day was Ivan Nichevsky. Can you believe that?
He's got a big job to do for APIA today. He's been the better keepers here. Is McIlhatton, a little sloppy, working out of his own end. He's handed possession back, but Bryant Tamalo which is the pocket of Anselmi. That'll be a battle to watch today. First time we've seen Chris Payne on the ball. Parisi in space. APIA have to really find their groove in this one. United settled the better. Here's Mayer. Going to move in midfield. Dragoyanis now. Has to get forward and provide the service from out wide. Sim. Touch was good to Simonovski, but well read by Josh Simmons, who returning from a hamstring injury. Dragoyanis. Tomislav Uskot returns to Sydney United 58 mid-season after starting the year in the VPL. He's been a great inclusion for the club, who has won trophies with Sydney United 58 this time preceding this season. Here he is on the ball.
Yeah, certainly, you're spot on, Adam. The rejuvenation Sydney United has coincided with Uskok partnering Vlastelica, Dragogiannis on the right side of the defence, Gonzalez on the left, and that back four, they've only conceded 12 in their last 12 games, so they've certainly stiffened things up defensively. And while the attack wasn't really flourishing for a period of the season, towards the end of the season, they've got it going in the final series, 18 goals in the last 6 games.
And here's a sign of it again. Matt Sim, no surprise he's involved as Simonovski wins over a free kick, but I've never seen a difference in their midfield. Sim and Liam Rose, much more influential in recent weeks.
Yeah, and you add Tariq Meyer to that. They've obviously had Yanni Pakatis sitting in that base, and so Liam Rose and Tariq Meyer as those twin tens. Sim's been out wide. Today he's in that central area. He has been coming in late in games into the central area and causing a lot of havoc. Today he starts from there, and he's had an excellent start. An experienced play in amongst all these youngsters. Mayer, one of them.
Here's Mayer skipping his way past McIlhatton. I mentioned he can shoot from range, trying to work onto that right boot. McIlhatton, though, with a brilliant tackle, had to win the ball. And we saw referee Ben Abraham show he got exactly that. APIA yet to really offer too much in an attacking sense in this grand final. Opening 9 minutes here at Bankwest Stadium.
Certainly been a change in style this season for APIA Leichhardt Tigers. Last year, definitely known as the entertainers. They scored 62 goals throughout the season. This year, it's been a more pragmatic approach. John Kalaja making no.
There's a chance for them. Cross comes in. Oh, not dealt with. It may open up here for APIA. It was a golden chance. Corey Bixo it was. Probably surprised him as well.
They believe that they will get chances, APIA. They focus first and foremost on the defensive structure, take a more pragmatic approach, and they believe that they will get moments, and they've got the quality in Parisi, Payne, Sean Simmons and Bixo to take advantage of those moments.
Here's another battle to watch. Paul Galimi clear for a kick there on Peter Simonovski, and a little bit of afters as well. I mentioned the rivalry both of these sides have had with each other over the last few seasons, extending to FFA Cup and, of course, the NPL New South Wales. They don't like each other, and a lot of those games have been high-stakes football. Like this grand final today certainly is.
Throwing the moves, the likes of Payne, Nick Stavroulakis moving over from Sydney United. Adrian Vlastelica, a former APIA player at Sydney United now.
Here's Simonovski, does well to control it, and Tommy flicks it on, chance, but APIA get numbers across.
Both teams looking incisive in the front third. Lovely work from Simonovski and Antelmi there.
Tyrone Diaz it was, feeling the danger. He's a perfect record in grand finals. Scored in the 2008 grand final, then for the Wollongong Wolves. United, though, looking more likely of breaking this deadlock. APIA a little unsettled early. The luxury of having 5 games in 14 days this year. Certainly in the swing of things as Sim can't win possession. Uchino, Payne, he's fouled.
That transition's a real key feature in this game. Speaking to John Kalaja ahead of the game, the APIA coach, and that's a key tactical point for them. they feel that they might get some joy in those transition moments with Sydney United liking to build up. And they just stop that transition there.
There's Josh Simmons tries to find brother Sean. Frodianis started well, leading plenty of big games, grand finals as well. Another one of those that featured in 2016.
Again, Sim just getting on the other side of the midfielders of APIA. That's been the story so far. Sim and Maya finding those pockets. And again, it's a really key tactical play from APIA. They really want to stop Sim and Maya facing their back four.
Here's Uzkok. Frodianis. Rastalitsa. Patient build up from United. Long ball forward in search of Anselmi. Waitamalo all over him. Sim with it though. Chance again for United. Can't find anyone but the crumbs here for Simonoski. Sizes it up. Machevsky first save from him tonight. Did it well.
Yeah, again up here on the back foot there, and United pressing. Excellent work from Simonoski just to pick up the loose ball. He struck it well. Experienced Machevsky. Put his body behind it. Sim once again finding a pocket in the opposition box. Miro Vlastelic will certainly be the happier of the two managers in the early going.
We'll have to welcome everyone watching worldwide, of course, on the NPL New South Wales Facebook page, Football New South Wales YouTube. We do have people joining us from all weird and wonderful places around the world. Hello to you all. Thank you for tuning in, and as you have done, a great number throughout this 2019 season. What a stage we have here at Bankware Stadium to crown our champions. There's Gonzalez. Stalitza getting that long ball, looking to expose perhaps a lack of pace defensively for APIA. Conversely, the pace of Simonovsky and Anselmi.
Tactically, it's very interesting at the moment. Certainly, APIA happy to play conservative as they have done some key games.
Anselmi wins it back. Maya, Sim, chance to get in behind. Josh Simmons, not once but twice. Ball and all tackle. McGill Hatton. Payne, haven't seen too much of him so far tonight. Searching ball, looking for Simmons. Dealt with by United. Payne almost gets in. In fact, sits here for Payne. Chance for APIA. Oh, they live dangerously, Sydney United 58, and fortunately they get off the hook.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Vlastelica saw Chris Payne come in from his blind side there, but he almost profited from that moment of hesitation in the Sydney United defence. And in the end, Manos comfortably happy to land on that one. Testing moment.
Both keepers will be breathing a sigh of relief. Their first test they've passed. Simonovsky wants to run at defenders, working onto that left boot. Is he fouled? Still there for United. Although free kick coming back to APIA. A little loose on Simonovsky.
Yeah, and that's certainly a wide. The wide areas are very profitable for Sydney United. They love to get it wide. Simonovsky on the right-hand side. You've got Bilic on the left-hand side. And then they like to send Fragigiannis forward to join and create that overload down the right. Galimi's maybe a little bit less adventurous down the left. Gonzalez does pick his moments as well, so that battle down that left-hand side is going to be interesting as well.
Payne and Hiscock come together off the ball. Hiscock thought Payne was a little too hasty. You can see them talking it over. Again, chalk that up as another battle to watch. An entertaining opening quarter of an hour though in this 2019 grand final. No goals as yet, but these two sides were never too far away. Galimi clipped by Liam Rose. Starting to rise a little bit in terms of the tension.
Yeah, Galimi's always at the heart of the little niggly moments, and his battle with Simonovsky's been interesting. Liam Rose coming in there. And both players have stayed down after that. Obviously for Sydney United, no Yanni Perkatis, and Liam Rose becomes such an important player in front of that back four. Not only the screening, he's such a ball-playing, holding midfielder, and it's a big role for him because Percatis gets through so much work in front of that back four. And Liam Rose doesn't really have a partner there. He's playing in the number 6 role on his own. So watch this one. I'll hope he can pick himself up from this. They do have Tomalich on the bench. A holding midfielder perhaps. Doesn't quite have the mobility of Liam Rose.
Liam Rose going to soldier on. It's Parisi over it. Chance here for APIA at the set piece. For the likes of Marlo to make a late run. Josh Simmons too has scored from set pieces with his head. Sent in by Parisi. Flick on. Almost catches Manos out. It's Liam Rose forced to scramble, but it's a dangerous opportunity for Sydney United. Past the test though.
Both teams, of course, in great form. APIA have only lost one of their last 11 games, so I know Sydney United 5 from their last 6.
Josh Simmons gets fortunate. Bounce of the ball goes back to him. Still with it. Now Parisi. He makes a run in the area. Parisi has to work his way onto that right boot, but Liam Rose had it scouted well. Uchino can't strike from this kind of distance. Looking onto his right boot. Now Bixo. Still going. Ain't a chance. Goes down, edge of the area. At the interest of the APIA faithful, they'll get a free kick.
This is the type of play that APIA like. They're on the front foot, winning the ball high up in the opposition half and putting the pressure on. Uchino at the heart of it. Looked a little soft, that one, but free kick opportunity here. Gonzalez.
They certainly have some exponents at the set piece. Payne, Uchino, Sean Simmons as well. Take your pick. I think Sean Simmons, the captain, might be sizing this one up. Tony Diaz there too. Mentioned he has scored in grand finals. 2008 for the Wollongong Wolves. United go with a 5-man wall. Here's a moment for APIA. It will be Sean Simmons to take. Goes straight into that wall. Now McGill had it. Not too much with the follow-up. A little scrappy so far at Bankwest Stadium, but this is where the game opens up in transition. Again, Simonovski tangles with Galimi. In fact, Josh Simmons that time. Again, this one simmering.
Yeah, I think both teams clearly don't want the opposition to transition, so they're happy to commit those fouls away from the goals, maybe give away set piece, but really important. If it becomes a game of transition, it can go end-to-end, and both teams dangerous in those phases. So you see Josh Simmons stepping out there and shutting down that counter-attack.
So tide turns now to the Reds. What can they conjure from this set piece? Matt Sim over it. Has been an avenue to goal this year. So Thomas Love-Uscock. Patrick can tell me as well. Training ground move here. Sim. Chance to get in behind. Can he pick out a teammate? Delivery's good once again. Vlastalitsa at the far post. Well, you want a central defender. And they do get a corner out of it though.
Yeah, Mitchevsky not prepared to take the risk there. Again though, see they've been working on things in the training paddock. The set pieces have been good. The options short. Sim involved heavily at those set pieces. Very creative.
On the corner here for United. Delivery's been good so far. Again it is to Sim. All the way out here. Tarek Mayer a chance. Certainly one that can hit them. Need a better connection on that occasion. And the chance goes begging, and 20 minutes gone here at Bankwest Stadium. I don't think either side really found their groove.
Yeah, I think certainly that was one that Tariq Mayer would want back. He's hit some absolute screamers from range throughout the season. Saw one against Blacktown City in the finals. The minor semi-final. It was on the right foot. This time it landed on his left foot. Couldn't quite get it on target. I think certainly Sydney United probably the slightly happier of the two. APIA though have started to build their way back into the game.
Fragrianis, long ball searching for Anselmi, but Mitchevsky off his line to contend with that. Usually a heap of goals when these two get together. Last time out, round 15, was APIA by a goal to nil. It was a 10-man APIA on that occasion, and United really struggled to break them down. I did that game at Lambert Park. Here's McIlhat. That's the Litzer. Does well defensively.
I think the team, Sydney United, certainly a different space at the moment. They're in a lot more positive mindset. Momentum's with them, and I think they've finally got the front third flowing, and I think you've seen that in the early going.
Put it in there from Wooscott. Payne was in if he didn't. Sim with it. And famously, that preliminary final last year, APIA knocked out Sydney United 58 on penalties. Also went to a shootout earlier in that final series, so it's generally tight. APIA and Sydney United 58 clash in recent seasons.
It's ironic, the difference in where the squads are at compared to last year. Obviously, Sydney United last year limped into the finals, had 6 or 7 players out injured. Chris Payne was one of those throughout the finals as well. They've managed their load a lot better this year with Craig Duncan in the mix. Resting players throughout the season.
Long ball again. Chance for Sydney United this time. Cross the face. Antelmi's in there. Tamalo. Right behind him though to see it clear.
I love that near post run, Patrick Antelmi. How many times we've seen that in the final series?
He almost telegraphs it, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's always there.
And the delivery from Bilic was excellent to that near post. It has been from Sydney United right throughout the finals and this great run that they've been. A team that probably was one of the fancy teams given their recruitment in the off-season and the depth and quality of their squad. And then it's come to the fore.
Nice work from Rose. Mixed well with Sim. Now Bilic trying to get in behind. Sim's ball cut out by Tamalo. Over again, McIlhatton, one of the youngest players out there. Uchina, nice feet. Parisi likewise.
Excellent feet from Parisi there.
Still with it, the man they call the maestro. Sends McIlhatton forward. Nice from APIA. Payne. Does he pull the trigger? Probably should have. Instead, sends it out for a goal kick.
And speaking to the APIA camp, that's certainly what they're trying to do there. They're trying to break that press. They feel that if they can break that initial press, and Sydney United trying to win the ball high, Parisi gets that space in the midfield, and then he can start to play and thread those killer balls. And you saw a perfect example there of what APIA want to do.
You can feel the atmosphere here at Bankwest Stadium. APIA fans come out in great number. Sydney United 58 as well. They travelled in great number 2 to Wollongong, which was an incredible game. What it means, they've had to wait a while. I mentioned in my opener, 16 years for APIA to claim a championship, 13 for Sydney United 58. One of those droughts will end here tonight. Galimi got in the way with Josh Simmons. Tamalo cleaning up as he does. Plus the Litzer. Sydney United has certainly shown no sign of fatigue. The workload they've had in recent weeks, finals and FFA Cup as well. Simonovsky given room to move again. Good delivery once more. Bilic interested at the far post. Mayer, Sim, room to move and shoot. Made great connection, but always going over.
And the snapshot went over, but there was a snapshot of exactly what Sydney United are trying to do. They switched the play from one side to the other. Patient build-up. Liam Rose right at the heart of it, and eventually the ball drops on the edge of the box. Sim can't finish, but positive signs for Sydney United. You talk about the 5 games in 15 days. They've obviously had a big schedule, but they've had a week off now. They did play, of course, the FFA Cup, but Miroslav Stelica was able to really rotate the squad on that day and freshen up the starters here.
Here's Simmons. Once again, bounce of the ball goes to APIA. Big So's peeled off at the far post. Oh, the lethal pace he has. Now Tynan Diaz. Haven't seen too much out of him. Interest Payne and Manos, who flapped at it. It will be a corner.
Yeah, whenever Payne's lurking, the goalkeeper can't take a risk there. He's been very good again this season. Tom Manos, he was part of that 2016 losing side. It was his first year on the NPL scene. And he's certainly the consistency that he's brought to his game this year. His decision-making has been very good.
Defensive duties this time for United. APIA. Uchino with the delivery. Sends it in a dangerous area. Again, Manos out, punching. Only as far as Uchino. Take two for the Tigers. He hangs it up there. Here's a chance for them. It's the opening goal. APIA Leichhardt have the lead, and it's Paul Galimi. He runs to the Tigers faithful. And it was Sydney United creating the chances, but it's APIA who have taken theirs.
And that's exactly what we talk about. This APIA side, they pick their moments. They know when to put the front foot on. On that occasion, they sensed an opportunity from the set piece. Galimi with only his second goal of the season. It's a towering, terrific header from the player who came back. He's been playing in the centre of defence. He's been moved out to the left side, but he's showing his potency there. He said he's conservative, perhaps in general play, but he's always a threat at set pieces. And there he was. Great header.
And a few nerves perhaps from Tom Manos, who saw him come, didn't quite get there. And Galimi dispatched. Credit to the defender. Chance presented, and didn't he take it? We have a goal here at Bankwest Stadium. APIA Leichhardt in the lead. Galimi doesn't get many of them, but that could be golden. Hands the championship to the Tigers. Uchino.
Great delivery it was from APIA down the left-hand side.
There's Vlastelica. Starting to get more involved. The defender going to shoot. Vlastelica. I saw Paul Galimi at the other end and said, wouldn't mind joining the centre-back club.
Former APIA player, of course, and very comfortable on the ball, driving through that midfield. Worth the effort there. That's certainly been the APIA MO this year. Not always on the front foot, as I said last year. Clearly the entertainers, they were always in attack with Jordan Murray and Sakia. They've done things differently this year. They've got Payne and Parisi in the 9 and 10 roles, and they're not the type of guys that can go and press opponents. So they wait for their moments. They maybe allow them not to do the defensive work, and then they pounce when they get those moments in attack.
There's Bilic. Here's the inclusion tonight. Yanni Pakatis, of course, sent off in that FA Cup game midweek, so unfortunately he can't play a part.
They have been the comeback kings right throughout the final series, Sydney United, so no one's about to write them off.
Bilic it is who wins the throw. It was around this time last week. Wollongong scored. Stefan Domovsky with their opener. 2 second-half goals from Sydney United. 58, of course, got them here on grand final day.
And that spirit, they've had that belief. They really believe in themselves, the squad quality, and that's been something that Miro Vlastelica has spoken about. They know their capabilities.
Gonzalez leaves it for Mayer. Good delivery again. Simonovsky in there. And I felt he was fouled in the build-up. Says our officials, and because of that goal, he's probably winning that battle over Simonovsky. He's bragging rights for the moment.
You've got to say he's a big game player. He certainly produced the goods against Costa Barbarouses last year in the FFA Cup game against the Melbourne Victory. He had a brilliant game, really had Costa Barbarouses in his pocket. So he has produced some big games, Paul Galimi, and he's certainly that battle with Simonovsky riveting early on.
We have seen in recent seasons too that APIA Leichhardt, once they get that lead, they can really put the foot to the throat and bang in some goals. They've just got to ride out the storm. They've had their chances, and in a sense they'll have more as this game continues. Wooscock tidies up. It's a back note to our goal scorer Galimi. Nikhil Hatton. Gino and he looked at each other, but it's worked out well. Mayer fouled by Simmons.
In a sense that might be part of the tactical plan, just not to allow Tariq Mayer to get forward in those spaces and transition. Sean Simmons with a tactical foul there, just to halt the play. Sam McElhatton, who's been a running machine right throughout the season, moved across from Sydney FC. Probably as a squad player in the pre-season, that was the thinking. Of course, David Depuzzo got a season-ending injury. McElhatton has gone from strength to strength in that midfield, so a workaholic for APIA.
Flag up on Antelmi. Tamalo with it for the Tigers. McIlhat can't tidy up that time. Does not stop running, does he?
He's a machine in that midfield, that's for sure.
Nice ball cut out. Sean Simmons with it. Parisi. Simmons continues his run. There's Bixo and Payne in his vision. Tries to find their leading scorer, but he has drifted offside.
Some stats floating around. I understand that he does wear the GPS system, Sam McElhatton. Obviously coming out of the A-League Academy, he might be comfortable in that spot. 17 kilometres, I believe he did against Wollongong. So he's really a box-to-box type midfielder. And he complements Uchino, who's allowed to sit a little bit deeper and pull the strings, get on the ball for APIA.
Only go around 17 this season, so that's the shot we're talking about. It does get about end-to-end. Real talent in the NPL New South Wales. They are displaying that here tonight, of course, at Bankwest Stadium. Vlastelica. Well and truly in the balance, but you feel APIA starting to get a grip of things. It's United who came out of the blocks firing. Simonovski. Sim with it. Still Simonovski. Room to move, room to turn. Goes down in the area. Perhaps a little too softly for Ben Abraham.
That's certainly what Josh Simmons was gesturing there. Ben Abraham, who today was promoted into the A-League referees panel. Right on the spot there.
Payne. McGill had it. Where APIA is so dangerous. Simmons, can he provide the service? Payne there, Manos punching.
Great delivery from Simmons. Excellent goalkeeping though. Took that off the head of Payne.
4 minutes on that occasion for the United keeper. Can they hit them the other way? Simonovski. It'll sit for the striker. Has support coming too. Really look to go on his own. Simonovski rolls it back. Mayer here. Machevsky saves well once more.
Yeah, positive signs at both ends. I think Sean Simmons got that transition going and delivered beautifully for APIA. Manoff snuffed that out. United go quickly down the other end. And that's what the coaches spoke about in the build-up. There's the possibility of this one becoming transition.
Gonzalez will sit here for Mayer, starting to come more and more into this game. This is where he likes to be, although traffic was coming. Important challenge again. Josh Simmons questioned that injury. You see the hamstring heavily taped. Well, he's passing with flying colours.
They put him through a big test on Wednesday night.
First card of the night. McGill hadn't.
Careful from here, Sam McElhatton, but Josh Simmons, they put him through a rigorous fitness test on Wednesday night. He got through that. Of course, he was injured earlier on in the final series. Last week, to watch against the Wollongong Wolves. Galimi in the middle. Unfortunately, Michael Kuta missing out today.
Vlastelica's ball searching for Antelmi, but so perhaps a little one-dimensional at times United these last few moments. Just looking to hit Antelmi right away.
Sense that APIA has started to settle into this defensive structure. They were stretched early on. Uchino and McElhatton, really key players just to stop that space in front of the back four.
There's Rose. Brings that midfield together well for United. Fagoyanis now. United strike 10 minutes before half time, and Antelmi. He tries to link with Simonovski. Parisi with it. Bixo. His pace earlier. Lethal and loves to run at defenders. Thought he was checked in running, but Abraham says no. Game really starting to open up.
Simonovski wanted that one a little bit earlier. starting to stretch both ends. Interestingly, Fragigiannis and Gonzalez have been fairly conservative. I think they are concerned about APIA's counter-attack with Simmons and Bixo.
And Simmons brings it back for the Tigers. Payne. United have done a good job of managing him so far. Of course, know him fairly well, former teammate of them. Obviously turning well again. Sends Payne off and running. Foot race on here. The Litz are going to win it. Throws now.
I think one of the fascinating aspects for APIA, we have talked about how they have gone from being the entertainers to maybe the pragmatists at times this season. The way that the team's bought into that, I think, has been a real feature.
There's a chance perhaps again. Uchino links with Simmons. Sit for Payne. Want to do the job defensively again, but almost hand it back to Uchino. And Simonovsky. Being loose at times on him. Can make you pay. Tries to find the run of Antelmi. Now Bixo. Has to go on his own. Payne's offside ahead of him. Parisi the only one offering support. Flag stays down. Bixo links with Payne. Chance for Bixo. You see the questions being asked by the United defence to the officials, but Payne was smart about it.
Yeah, by the time that Corey Bixo released that ball, Payne was back in an onside position. It was play on. Especially on that far side. Bradley Wright.
38 minutes here at Bankwest Stadium have flown by. Hope you're enjoying the 2019 Grand Final. APIA fans will be at this point, but they will know the pain of the last two Grand Final defeats. Sydney United 58, we know. As Tony said, they are the comeback kings. Payne. Parisi. Gives Sean Simmons a chase. So many turning out too here at Bankwest Stadium. It is a great occasion. I mentioned the historic first competitive game of football, and APIA New South Wales has that honour. Did have a Leeds United Western Sydney Wanderers friendly.
It's really fitting, Adam, when you think about the history, how many games, how many grand finals in the NSL era were played at this great ground. You know, some winning sides, the likes of Marconi. So United came here, lost out to
Antelmi again, the target from Fragoyanis, but Machevsky off his line again.
And of course, Sydney United were here in 1988. They lost out to Marconi on penalties. APIA didn't feature in the grand final here. The year that they won the championship in 1987 was the year there was first past the post. So they might have got the opportunity to play on the grand final here. APIA, it was the one season that there was first past the post in the NSL era. And it's great to be back here. As I say, active support from both ends. Sydney United fans, they turned out in force right throughout the season, through the finals. The numbers have been huge. Great to see some active supporters. Understand travelling contingent from Newcastle, Hamilton, Atsuri fans. Great to see them supporting the APIA Leichhardt side.
Here's Mayer. Can't get past the wall of APIA defenders. Parisi. He has it, so composed on the ball. The 36-year-old doesn't look like his veteran status.
Been great this season, of course, named in the Team of the Year yesterday, the Ultra Football Team of the Year, along with Chris Payne. And he has been absolutely brilliant for APIA this season. Franco Parisi, of course, they lost Sakia at the end of last season. They lost also Jordan Murray. We talked about the slight difference that that's meant. It means that the likes of Parisi, you can see him there, he's not doing the pressing. John Kalaja allows him and Payne not to do the defensive work.
It's Fragoyanis in the search for again of Antelmi. Forced to tidy up, use his head. As he fouled from Payne, he was.
They only inject themselves in the attack, those front two. It's probably why they've been so dangerous and keep themselves fresh. And they can influence in the front third when it's needed.
There is Uzcock. They're approaching half-time. APIA have the lead. Paul Galimi the difference between the two sides. Can Antelmi get his side back into it?
It's been quiet in the recent minutes. Antelmi.
Big side. Finds Simmons. The pace of this man certainly can open up the game. Simmons no slouch in the speed stakes either. I have to make mention at half-time. We've got the NPL dash. We'll find our fastest here in the NPL New South Wales. So stay tuned for that. Nicholas Kutniak will be your caller. There's some jet boots amongst the field, I can tell you. That's the take for New South Wales. That one, $2,500 cash up for grabs. Here's Galimi. Already got one goal in an advanced position. Was he pushed out of it? Galimi's going to get a talking to, both he and Simonovsky in. No surprise, because that's a battle that simmered throughout.
It's a battle that always simmers when Paul Galimi's on the pitch. Certainly the type of player that's always niggling away at the opponent, and certainly know you've played and come up against Paul Galimi. Certainly given APIA the lead at the moment, so he is the influencer.
Tarek Mayer had to win the ball. He was late getting there. Just a yellow. This time, rather than malicious there from Tarek Mayer. I was just about to say, there is a history of red cards in this fixture. Don't always end with 11 on each side. Mayer now has a tight rope to walk.
Yeah, that game you called earlier in the season, of course, Demba and Waitamalo getting sent off in the first half.
Parisi wanted to run from pain, and the communication between those two. Almost at the break. United did control things for the first 20-odd minutes, but since the goal, it's been APIA.
They've certainly settled into that structure now. They're winning the ball a bit higher, making it more difficult for United to get out of their own half. They had it their own way for most of the first 20 minutes. But APIA's tactical work, it's been a feature this year. David DePuzzo can't play, but he's helping out with the assistant coaching role of John Kaleja. Also the experienced Nick Stavroulakis helping out with opponent tactical scouting. Until they've done their homework here.
Certainly numbers of coaches in waiting too amongst both sets of players. They do some work with the youth league sides. And seems another. Uzcock again looking for Antelmi. Then it's McGill Haddon cutting things out for APIA. Can they hit the other way? What a time to score before the break. Throw and going the way of APIA. Parisi wastes little time. And Simmons picks on in space. Tries to go to Chris Payne. Fragoyanis. Let's go to the fourth official. See how much additional time we'll have. Just the 1 minute. And too many stoppages. And as raced by the opening half here at Bankwest. More chance for United. Stolitza. Diaz bringing out Bilic. There's Bilic. Wanted a free kick, thought he was bodied off it from Bixo. Machino. It's fortunate, not for the first time tonight. Once the ball has gone up his way. We've had some bad luck in recent seasons. I mentioned those two grand final defeats. A real sense in the APIA camp that this is their year.
Yeah, it's been a great season from them. Perhaps, obviously, you lose Jordan Murray and Tasuka Sakia, both 20-plus goal scorers.
And there it is, half-time at Bankwest Stadium in the 2019 grand final. Chances for both. But it's APIA who have taken theirs. Paul Galimi heading in from a corner. Here's the difference at half-time. Both sides will talk it over. United, some promising signs, but perhaps some work to do. APIA starting to take control as that half went on. And Tony, how did you see that opening 45 minutes?
I think certainly Sydney United made the better start. They were, taking the momentum that they've had throughout the finals. They were the team on the front foot. APIA looked like they were just hanging on defensively. Sim and Tariq Mayo getting between those lines and finding those pockets, and they were the team in control. I think APIA started to work their way back into the game at the midway point, and we started to get Simmons forward down the left-hand side. I think Uccino and Sam McElhatton, once they got that goal, they grew comfortable, and they've really denied that space to Tariq Mayer and Sim very well. So that's something that Sydney United will need to work on. How can they potentially get that front third going?
You see the players on screen. We're almost set, or at least we're getting set for the NPL Dash. Thanks to TAFE New South Wales. As I mentioned, $2,500 up for grabs. There's a hot field, of course. Nicholas Kutnak will be your call up for that. So we are going to hand it over. Nicholas Kutnak.
Field, James Andrew, perhaps one of the favourites, along with maybe Leroy Jennings. Expect Amori Gauthier of Hakawa to probably make a quick start. He's a very explosive youngsters out there as well. Likes of Xander Regan from APIA. They've got the lead at half-time.
You see the tape unfurled. They will go box to box. I've been singing James Andrews' praises all week. I've always said he's the fastest, but we're about to know.
Certainly he and Leroy Jennings are the favourites going in. Maybe one of the youngsters can spring a surprise. I know that
Jim Sydney FC, Paul Juach from Wollongong, and Jack Burt from Manly.
Town Rangers. Shane Prasad is a kid who's got a great track record as in the little athletics. He's got some great times. Obviously switched from athletics to focus on the football, but he might be a bit of a smoky.
See James Andrew, he's the man for me. Such lethal pace, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. There's some unknowns in this field, for sure.
A lot of youngsters, obviously. Peter Kakeris, who came across from Central Coast Mariners Academy into the Sydney Olympic. First team squad under Abbassad. The second half of the season, he's in the number 44 jersey. Great addition to the NPL Grand Final calendar. Look out for Xander Regan, the APIA boy on that left-hand side. Called him throughout the summer in the futsal scene. Bull Juach, Wollongong Wolves.
Quickly, here you going, Tony.
I think you've got to go, Jimmy Andrew.
I'm with you. I've been saying it all week, not changing my tip now. The NPL Dash underway, some questionable starts. Bull Juach, a chance here on the right-hand side, surging through the middle though. Juach will get pipped late.
Kakeris.
Peter Kakeris it is, from Sydney Olympic. Well, it wasn't expected going in. I mentioned it's a mixed bag, perhaps an unknown.
Got the best start, I think, certainly. Got off to a great start, him and Bull Juach. Wollongong Wolves. last year's premiers, just pipping this year's premiers.
And Sydney Olympic, no, they saw last year grand final date. Well, they've won again, the NPL Dash, first of its kind. And thanks to TAFE New South Wales, $2,500. It may go to the end of season trip perhaps for Sydney Olympic. We'll wait and see. Congratulations to Peter Kikeris, our winner.
Yeah, certainly got a great start. I think the two favourites, James Andrew and Leroy Jennings, perhaps the expectation they didn't get out of the blocks as well as they would have liked, and they were left behind. The youngsters.
There you see the check for Peter Kikeris, the NPL Dash, thanks to TAFE New South Wales, $2,500. It was on James Andrew, we both were. Perhaps that pressure, that expectation. Peter Kikeris can call himself the fastest man in the NPL.
There's some consolation for Sydney Olympic. It wasn't the season for them that they were hoping for. Obviously, last year here, they were the winners, the champions. They won the double, only the third team in 12 years to do that last year. Kikeris wasn't part of the side. He came in the midway point of the season, and they come up here. It's great to see every club represented on grand final day in some capacity. And Kikeris, Olympic missed out on the finals, but they've got their winner here in the Dash.
Great initiative too. Let's hope it's a feature NPL grand finals to come.
We'll have to sort out the start.
Starting this would help as well. But anyway, all the fun of grand final day. It is half time. Tony, we were saying at half time, what would be your message to Sydney United 58 and APIA?
Yeah, I think APIA certainly the last 25 minutes of that first half, they really started to impose their type of game, which is a physical game where they disrupt the opponent and then they go quickly in transition. The key players, Chino and Sam McElhatton. So the message will very much be continue doing that. And they'll feel that Sydney United might have to come at them a little bit more, and that might give them some space in transition. So that's going to be an interesting angle to assess in the second half. As for Sydney United, I feel that they probably went into their shell a little bit after conceding that goal. Just playing. And since then, they've only lost 1 out of 11. So I think they're key little moments. They've all bought into that, and it is such a united squad. We know that they're all a very closely knit bunch of players, and you know when they buy into the plan, you can see a bit more sure of themselves, and I think they're a bit more relaxed.
They do go with a fairly shallow squad. We see Sydney United 58, a very deep squad, perhaps the deepest in the league. Whereas APIA, it's generally that nucleus of 15, 16 players. They do draw some players from their under-20s, but it's generally a settled squad they use. And that has hurt them at times because of injuries. FA Cup, we saw last year Jordan Murray signed with the Mariners, of course, the Golden Boot last year in New South Wales. So that's had an impact on those two campaigns that perhaps didn't finish how they wanted them. it seems like 2019 hasn't had those interruptions.
I agree totally. I think the fact that they've not had, they got knocked out of the Waratah FFA Cup very early. They didn't make it through to the final National 32, and I think that's actually really helped them, you know, in the back end of the season, because they do have such a thin squad. You know who's pretty much going to be on the park for the APIA Leichhardt Tigers. They've got a couple of youngsters on the bench. They've got a couple of experienced guys on the bench, but I think it's helped them this year.
All right, well, that's our analysis for the first 45. We will take a short break. When we return to the second half of the 2019 Grand Final here at Bankwest, at half-time, it's APIA Leichhardt 1, Sydney United 58-0.
The National Premier League's New South Wales men's 2019 regular season is in the books, and it was the year of the Wollongong Wolves. Led by retired Socceroos star Luke Wilkshire, Wollongong ended the years of disappointment by winning the Premiership title for the first time in 32 seasons. However, Wollongong weren't the only enticing storyline, as there was more than a few twists and turns over a thrilling 22 weeks.
A pleasure to have your company. How good is this? Season 2019 of the New South Wales National Premier League about to get underway.
And a man drew a player, and now, until that moment of magic.
The season kicked off in March, and it delivered a massive upset right from the word go, with reigning champion Sydney Olympics stunned by Sutherland, with Jeremy Cox scoring the match winner.
He's onside, and he buries it!
After a large reshuffle in the off-season, little was known about the Wolves, but they gave their fans early reason to be hopeful after a 2-1 win against Manly United.
And that's in the back of the net! The lead restored!
But it was week 2 that the Wolves truly had their coming-out party, when they dominated competition favourites APIA Leichhardt Tigers 3-0. New striker Thomas James certainly found his gear, scoring all 3 goals.
Here it is for James, in behind here, can he finish? Yes he can! It's James again, and it's that man! Looking inside, terrific ball, what a goal that is!
Sydney Olympic got back on track after their round 1 loss with a 6-2 humiliation of newly promoted Mount Druitt. It was a reality check for the competition's new squad as the reigning champs flexed their muscles. Round 3 of the competition featured one of the most exciting matches of the season as Olympic and Blacktown City put on a show, eventually settling for the 3-3 draw.
Moment, nice ball squared up before a runner. Jason McDonald comes on to the end of it. Jason McDonald!
It was also a massive week for Hakoah Sydney City East, who managed an incredible 3-0 win against Rockdale City. It was one of the few bright spots in an otherwise disappointing season for Hakoah.
And that's game 6 at match.
Thomas James continued to impress in round 4, adding a pair of goals as Wollongong hung on to beat Sydney FC at Lambert Park.
Thinking his way towards the goals, and it's a Wollongong Wolves goal.
Rockdale entered their round 5 clash at APIA, desperately needing to end a run of defeats, with the pressure mounting on coach Paul Reid.
Go at it, he's fumbled at the keeper. Huge chance for APIA. Oh, it's 2.
Sadly for the former A-League star, everything that could go wrong did. As the Suns lost versus the Tigers, Reid was replaced as coach the following day.
And they pay another big price.
The grand final rematch between Sydney Olympic and APIA was the big clash of round 8, and it was deja vu all over again, with Olympic triumphing 3-1, the same scoreline as the 2018 decider.
What a goal that is! Jinyan! Direct from the free kick!
Round 8 also included arguably the goal of the season, as Wollongong Wolves defender Nikola Georgievich scored an incredible diving scorpion kick, helping his side earn the 2-2 draw against the Sutherland Sharks.
Ball inside the mixer looking for them. What a goal! Nikola Georgievich with one of...
Yes, welcome back to Bankwest Stadium, second half. About to get underway. APIA Leichhardt and Sydney United 58. APIA have the lead. Paul Galimi gifted them that. Sydney United 58. We've mentioned they've been the comeback kings this final series. APIA seek for a second goal to extend the lead and perhaps put one hand on that trophy. It has eluded them in the last 2 grand final visits. Parisi turning. Bilic. Want a free kick. I'll have to settle for the throw. How do United, Tony, wrestle back that control we feel they've lost?
I feel that they need to really get those fullbacks starting going forward again. So Fragigianis and Gonzalez have been key pillars for them. They are a team that does like to possess the ball and play high up in the opposition half. So they need to get them forward and try and find those pockets again. I think McElhatton and Uchino have really taken control. They're not allowing United, Sim and Maya in that pocket between midfield and defence.
There's Parisi. Rose picks up possession for United. So for a throw. In fact, it'll go to APIA. These sides don't always bring a ton of goals when they get together. Didn't expect the goal fest getting here, but they have had chances both. United opportunities to open the scoring, didn't take them. APIA certainly took theirs with Galimi. Gonzalez. Now Vlastelica. Again, the defender getting forward, loves to run at defenders. Still there for Vlastelica. They provide the service. It's deflected. Anselmi trying to make something happen. Sim there as well. Audacious with the overhead. Simmons says anywhere will do. Bixo could even reel this in. Given his pace, he will do so. And further forward. Bixo onto the left. Payne with it. Jinking. Bixo, chance for APIA. Almost fell for Payne, and Vlastelica back there.
I like the way they just kept their calm in forward transition there, APIA. It's the experience coming through. No panic, balls into the box. Just waited.
Diaz, Bixo, perhaps the talk at half-time was to get Corey Bixo more involved, given his pace. And Bilic, we've seen struggle with pace. That World Cup final, James Andrew.
I think certainly transition becomes a real key part for APIA now, making sure that they absorb the early Sydney United pressure and try and hit and get that second goal to give them the buffer.
Diaz goes with the long throw, can't find Payne. Again, it's Vlastelica for United. McGill had it, turning well. Can't beat the blue wall of United. Bilic. And Anselmi, was he fouled by Maitamalo? No, says referee.
Anselmi had a great start to the match. He was the target of many of United's raids, but they've done a good job of shutting him down the supply.
Parisi's ball. Chance for Payne. Payne a chance. Flashes past the post. First time we've really seen him with an eye for goal.
He only needs half a chance, doesn't he? He's such a sharp shooter. A lovely take on the thigh. Didn't think twice about it. Hit it on the volley and it wasn't far at all. You can see his quality. He's playing with lots of freedom this year. The type of guy that wants the ball all the time and wants to go at goal. Selfish striker, but exactly what you want from your striker.
His chances golden in grand finals if you could make them count. Suddenly it's 2-0. Hasn't been afforded too many in front of goal, Chris Payne. More like that, you feel he'll more than likely take, given the form he's in. 6 in his last 7.
Just feel that at the moment the game is suiting John Collage's men. Were able to absorb and hit on the counter-attack with that 1-0 lead. Sort of suits their game plan perfectly. And it's going to take some work from Sydney United. I've spoken about their resilience and their spirit that they've shown right throughout the finals. Don't write them off, but they've got a big task ahead of them.
Simmons can't win the header. APIA will win the throw.
Maybe later on he might think about moving Rose into a higher position at the top of that midfield where he's been so creative for United this season, second half of the season especially.
Wooscock. Manos under a little bit of pressure, but deals with it well enough. Rose. Gonzalez. Gives Mayer something to chase. Bilic potentially the pace to reel it in, but Moatamalo tried to body Bilic off the ball. Bilic wins the free kick.
Did really well there, Matthew Bilic. Kept the pressure on Moatamalo, forcing the error. And it's a set-piece opportunity. Tariq Mayer's interested in this. Chance to send Wooscock forward. Saw him score his first goal of the season against Blacktown City in the minor semi-final.
I just feel as United fans starting to find their voice. Could they be a difference perhaps? Willing their side on to an equaliser.
Terrific atmosphere.
Sim leaves it for Mayer. Needed to be better. Gonzalez. Bilic does well. In behind again. Across the face it goes. Cries of handball from the United players. Danger not over for APIA. Fragoyanis hangs it up there again. Mayer mentioned his potency from this kind of range. Mayer going to try his luck. APIA got bodies in the way and Payne says, let's get it out of here.
You talk about the crowd and the influence of the crowd. You might remember the prelim final last week at Wollongong. Crunching tackle from Griffin on Simonovsky, I think it was. The crowd got involved in it. Suddenly, Sydney United lifted another gear and that triggered their comeback. So maybe it is a moment that really sparks them and sparks the crowd that gets United back into this. They believe.
I do see APIA at times, they can drift out of games for periods. We saw in that first week of the finals, Blacktown City FC, APIA felt they had the job done, and one moment they allowed Blacktown, Joey Gibbs got an equaliser. In extra time, suddenly we're off the penalties. They have a habit sometimes of just, whatever it is, letting sides back in. Sim trying to play the perfect ball to Antelmi. He had Simonovsky and acres of space out wide.
United are lifting their tempo here. And Bilic has started to really influence things in the last couple of moments. Been quiet towards the end of that first half, Matthew Bilic, but an experienced player who was part of that 2016 losing grand final. Missed the prelim last week due to illness.
Fragoyanis bundled off it from Simmons. Moatamalo flags up. Sometimes in grand finals, it's not about what's happened, who's in the better form. It's always about effort, about want, desire. I just feel in any period of this game, that's going to be the difference. Who wants it more?
Mentality, such a big part of the game, of course. Both these sides oozing lots of quality and oozing some big game players as well. So this will be ding-dong between now and the 90th minute.
And that's one of these stars we've spoken of. Will stand up and make the difference. Payne and Antelmi, we've mentioned them. Sean Simmons, plenty capable on both sides of the pitch. There's a brilliant atmosphere at Bankwest Stadium. There's Vlastelica now. Gonzalez. Fragoyanis.
Going to control possession here. This is what they like, Sydney United. Patient build-up side to side.
Sim. With Simonovsky and Antelmi with it. Rights the challenge. Rose. Goal scorers in that preliminary final last week, combining. It's that final pass though, just going astray.
Yeah, at the moment they haven't quite been able to execute. Of course, Liam Rose playing in that deep anchor role. Perhaps as this game goes on, they might look to get him a bit more forward. Is that a handball? No, according to Ben Abraham.
He's well placed. The referee, McGill Hatton again. He's trying to provide the tackle. The space though in midfield for APIA. Bixo just lost his footing. And they kept possession. Here's Payne. Likes to interchange with Simmons. Now tries to pick out his captain. Battle between he and Fragoyanis. He had to be clean there, the defender. Simmons. That deflected. Keep it in. Diaz, the service, all United there. In fact, hands it back to Parisi. Again, Vlastelica, how good has he been for United? Everywhere when they've needed him.
Yeah, he's been terrific the last second half of the season in particular as he's got fit. His combination with Uzcok's been outstanding. You see him comfortable on the ball. Obviously very motivated playing against his former club. Him and Paul Galimi grew up together in the youth team, played in central defence. Galimi's the player trying to do defending here.
Simonovski, fortunate, gets possession. Great chance here. It's an equaliser for Sydney United, 58. And it's Matthew Bilic. The inclusion. He has the impact they need. It was Simonovski. The battle between he and Galimi has raged on. But it's the number 7 providing the service for Bilic. It is game on at Bank West.
Yeah, lovely switch of play from the left-hand side. They got it in behind Galimi, who's appealing for a free kick. He went down, Simonovski played on, and tell me, as he always does, drove to the near post. He couldn't get a toe to it. Bilic getting around his defender and getting on the end of it. It's a terrific equaliser here, and what a game it sets up. Bilic with his 3rd of the season, and the crowd, the Sydney United fans, are going off in the northern end of Bankwest Stadium.
Well, we said it would be a factor. Listen to them now. They have ridden the wave for the last 3 weeks. They surged with their side in Wollongong. Here is the replay. Galimi, Simonovski got the better of him. A dangerous ball. Bilic didn't give up on it. And from that kind of range, you only need a touch. It is 1-1.
Since they started to get into the game, probably the first 5 minutes of the second half was APIA, but increasingly United the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Game opening with that goal. Simmons, just as United have wrestled it back. Can APIA take the lead again? Bixo. Nervy deflection from Vlastelica. Manos sees it over. Will be a corner though.
And suddenly it's a massive test for APIA. They want to hit back. This is a real test of their mettle. Missed out on the last 2 grand finals. They've taken the lead in the first half, but it's been pegged back. Now they're looking to hit back almost immediately. They've scored already in the air.
Simmons to take. APIA's turn to apply a bit of pressure to United. Manos flapped out a couple in the first half, not so on that occasion. Rock solid.
Now APIA have to shift their mentality. They have been happy to sit and absorb. You can see Parisi's trying to lift the tempo on the defensive front as well.
Mayer. Need to move all of a sudden for he. Again, Simonovski afforded too much space. They paid the price once, APIA. Then it was Bilic falling for it at the far post. McGill had it.
Now they've got the bit between their teeth. Sydney United, they look fresher. Momentum's a big thing, as we know in football. Had it right through the finals. It's exactly the scenario that they've fancied.
To go over past the hour mark. What a half an hour we have with normal time remaining. If we don't have a winner after 90 minutes, we'll go to extra time and penalties. We've needed the shootout twice already today. The under-18s won by Blacktown City FC. The Sutherland Sharks won the under-20s, both on penalties. So maybe there again yet. I mentioned that history we've had in shootouts between these two. Preliminary final last year. Last grand final, Sydney United here at Parramatta Stadium. We mentioned 1988 was lost on penalties.
In fact, both their games in the final series last year did go to penalties, 1 win apiece. So there is a lot of recent history between these two, as you said. Adam, tight games, and this one has delivered exactly what we've expected.
In football. Before then, though, before we worry about a shootout, can APIA find the lead again? Uchino it is. Simmons was there. Manos out punching well.
Talked about United's flourishing front third. 18 goals in the last 6 games. Knew they'd get a chance or two eventually. Those wide areas opening it up. Lovely delivery, as we've said.
Space opening here for Payne. Sean Simmons picks him out. Touch just let him down. Does well to keep it in though. Can he turn provider? No one really on the end of it.
He's been terrific for Sydney United the last couple of months, and he's starting to really influence things in that midfield, getting space.
Simonovski, speaking of influence, coming into the game. Again, it's he and Galimi tangling.
What a battle.
Just feel one of them's not going to last the 90 the way it's going. Galimi with the goal. Simonovski with the assist. Simmons. Payne chasing that one. Really found a way to get him involved into the game. Chris Payne.
Yeah, it's very much been about the transition.
Tamalo had to be clean there. And Selmy done a pretty stellar job to this point.
Giving away the ball deep in their own half. It's not going to help the cause. United can keep the pressure on here.
Such a factor, isn't it? Composure. Pressure mounting. You know what's at stake. And Selmy turning. Jinking past his man. Was he fouled? Says referee Abraham. Now Payne a chance. The long ball from Parisi. He'll have to do it on his own, the striker. Here's a chance for Payne. Trying to work on his right. Chris Payne had close attention. Couldn't force a save on Manos.
No second thought there. I love the way he peeled his run just to stay on side as the ball came over from that left-hand side. And that's the kind of moment that Chris Payne loves. Going one-on-one at a defender. You always fancy him to take the defender on and try and score. We've seen that right throughout the season. He has been doing that, so you can't begrudge him.
I mentioned 23 goals this year. He scored a hat-trick in round 4 against Sydney United 58. His first visit back to his former club. And Selmy. Gonzalez. Another United want to see further forward. Bilic does not give up the fight. Here is Gonzalez. Can provide good service. Fragoyanis, the defender. When he might try his luck. Sim, chance again for United. Bodies go to ground in the area. Always unnerving when that happens. Simmons again clears.
And Fragoyanis has really started to get forward down that right-hand side. Trying to link up with the likes of Sim and Simonovski.
Here's Blastalitza.
Using the width very well now.
Bilic rides the challenge. Moata Marlow again. Cleaning up for APIA. He's been everywhere, Adrian Blastalitza.
They're really relishing this. His form, as I said, with Uscock in the centre of defence. Only 12 goals conceded in the past 12 games, so they've really tightened things up defensively. They were struggling to score between rounds 15 and 19, 5 games. They only scored 1 goal in that 5-game run. Well, they didn't get a win, but it turned around just before the finals. Away to Harkoa, they triggered, they got 3 goals there, and since then, 18 in 6 games. They've added the 19th here, and right now they are the team in control. APIA sat back. Can they absorb this as they did in the first half?
Payne fighting for it. Throw will go to United. It is tense stuff here at Bankwest Stadium. Delicately poised, this one.
do have, of course, Michael Kuda as an option who can really turn things around for APIA down that left-hand side. Of course, Galimi, more a defensive-minded player, but Kuda can go forward and maybe start to test Sydney United the other way. So he was very disappointed not to make the starting 11 after featuring last week. Josh Simmons coming back in, but he's got an opportunity, one of the fresh players that came into the APIA squad from Harkoa. So maybe introducing Michael Kuda might be an option for John Kalaja.
I think we might even see Dom Nasrabadi at some point. The youngster, he has pace. He can really inject something into APIA as this game continues. But any time left for either side. Parisi will get a free kick.
Type of player they want on the ball. Certainly the go-to man in that forward.
McKill had it. Parisi's continued his run. No one's picked him up. This is where he's dangerous with his ball at the feet, but as I say that, miscommunication with Chris Payne. Hands it back to United. Simonovsky. Thought he had a free kick. I have to side with him. No surprise it was Paul Galimi.
The battle continues. He's fairly even at the moment. Simonovsky's got himself an assist. Galimi's got a goal. Which way will it go? Said Michael Kuda's in waiting on the bench. Left back for APIA.
It's Big So. Nice vision. Diaz overlapping. Chance for APIA, numbers in the middle, but service needed to be better.
We haven't seen that too often. Tynan Diaz getting forward from right back. It's a good moment there, combining with Big So, maybe catching Bilic out by surprise. Now can United go the other way?
Gonzalez. I mentioned at half-time those nerves of the APIA players. Lovely ball forward. Simonovsky again. Flag was up though. As we were saying, those nerves of APIA, those missed opportunities of previous seasons, they will only grow.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me is Payne has been the real go-to in terms of goals this year. Whereas in past years, they've probably had a bit of a supply from across the front third.
Parisi, chance for Payne. They go down in the area. Don't get the interest of Ben Abraham, and rightfully so.
So Payne's been the main go-to in the front third. Maybe this year, Simmons hasn't produced as many goals as we've been used to, only 4 this season. Similar with Bixo, only 5 for him. Payne's been very much the supply line. Sydney United, on the other hand, they have Antelmi, they've got Simonovsky, they've got Tariq Mayer, Matt Sim. They've all been amongst the goals, particularly in recent weeks. Right now, they are the team that's in control.
Nice caught. Searching ball again, Bilic.
You have to dig very deep here.
Testing that hamstring of Josh Simmons. They feel that matchup. And then tell me this one they can get some goals out of. Level pegging at the moment at Bank West. Bixo. Chance to surge into the area. Gets checked by Vlastelica. Again, no foul. Will be a corner though.
Had to time that one, Vlastelica. That looked like a decent shout. Bixo driving into the box. Vlastelica's been so strong. They do have quality. Bixo, Simmons driving at the opposition on the dribble. And they've got a set piece here. You know, Moatamalo is very strong in the air. Man with the hamstring. Josh Simmons as well.
Simmons it'll be. Dangerous ball in again, Manos. Nowhere near it, thought he was fouled. Playing on anyway.
Fortunate there for Sydney United.
Simmons. Nice work between he and Diaz. Tried to ride the challenge and tell me. Doing some defensive work. I wonder if it stays this way. 20 minutes remaining. We will go to extra time. Potentially penalties. Galimi again in an advanced position. Thought he was fouled, but Ben Abraham's done a good job managing this one. That's simmered at times, but Hasn't balled over yet. Sim with it. And tell me, just had some room to move. Tamalo.
So his intention there, just trying to flick it on to a dangerous area for Simonovsky. You know how sharp Simonovsky is. Sydney United's leading scorer for the season on 11. He moved across from Wollongong Wolves in the off-season. Just seen Galimi go down. We saw him join the attack moments ago, and he came up from that attack limping back into position. And this might be the moment that Michael Kuta gets his opportunity. Certainly warming up. And he's coming across to take the bib off, Michael Kuta. So it will be a change. So this is a fascinating moment in the game, Adam. Just under 20 minutes remaining in that battle between Galimi and Simonovsky. We're going to see a slight shift in that now. Kuta just getting a talking to here from David Depuzzo, John Kalaja.
Seeing the goals. Paul Galimi, there he is. A brighter moment in this one. He gave APIA the lead. So it runs away to the APIA faithful. Not quite in a celebratory mood right now because it looks as though his grand final is going to end in injury. And he's shaking hands with Peter Simonovsky, which was good to see. It was quite a battle out there.
Great sportsmanship. You can see his thigh heavily strapped, as is that of Josh Simmons. And now it's a slightly different agenda for Sydney United to deal with. Michael Kuta, more of an attacking left back. So while he will need to keep tabs on Simonovsky, he might be able to ask some questions the other way. And let's see if that shifts the balance of this game.
Simmons will come central, you feel. Josh Simmons, which will be another test to help out Kuta, but he is an asset. I wouldn't mind having him on the bench, Michael Kuta. Experience, he's played in some big games in recent weeks too, so...
Yeah, and obviously he's been at Harkoa where they had made a couple of Waratah Cup finals as well, so he was very disappointed, I understand. He was told yesterday that it wouldn't be starting, with Josh Simmons coming back into the starting 11. And he's been in great form, one of the fan favourites of the APIA fans. Paul Galimi limping off, thigh heavily strapped.
So confirmation of the change, Michael Kuta to come in.
All hands on deck, John Kalaja helping.
And Paul Galimi will play no further part in the grand final where he gifted APIA the lead. The twists and turns of the NPL New South Wales. 20 more to come in the last 16 or so minutes.
Yeah, we don't really want this season to end, so why not go the extra 30 minutes? It's been an unbelievable season.
We've got another grand final tomorrow we have to make mention of too, the women's NPL grand final, Sydney University and the Northern Tigers. So the football doesn't end just yet. Continue for preceding weeks as well, NPL 2, etc, etc. It has been some year.
Get out to VSP tomorrow, Super Sunday, couple of big grand finals, the women's 1 and the women's 2. APIA, of course, will be in action in the women's 2 grand final against the Gladesville Ravens.
Yes, Maya. Does that injury shift the balance back to United? It's ebbed and flowed this one. And you see Paul Galimi. No further apart. Uchino turning, had to be careful, but Josh Simmons did it well. Here's Kuta's first touch for APIA. Free kick. So he rages in his own battle, this time with Antelmi.
You can see immediately Kuta getting the ball down and driving forward. That's what he does. Then he attracts the defensive work, so the forwards have to come back for Sydney United. And so it's a nice little option for John Kalaja to be able to throw on in the final 20 minutes. Fresh legs of Michael Kuta.
15 minutes of normal time remain here at Bankwest Stadium. Simmons got lucky. Payne. McIlhatton. Bixo. Into the area he goes. McIlhatton going to try his luck. Not quite the execution he wanted.
Yeah, Sam McElhatton yet to hit the back of the net this season. Of course, he was named last year in the Ultra Football Team of the Year. He's had a terrific season. We're about to see another substitution. Sydney United, Simonowski. No sooner have we seen Galimi come off. Josh McDonald comes on as fresh legs. And it's a good move, I think, from Miro Vlastelica, given the fact that Michael Cooter's just come on. Josh McDonald with the fresh legs. You'll be able to, two fresh players go at each other.
I don't know that Peter Simonowski's too happy in coming off. It's an interesting change, your leading scorer.
He's had a very good season coming across from the Wollongong Wolves. Injury riddled at the start of the season. Once he's got going in the second half, goals have started to come.
This Mayer, a little too hot to handle for Matthew Bilic.
I think it might just be the fresh legs that are perhaps a bit concerned that Michael Cooter might really ask questions of Simonowski defensively. So McDonald, he has been out injured for much of the final series. Of course, he did start on Wednesday night in that FFA Cup game. Needed the minutes.
Taken quickly by APIA, trying to catch United napping. Bixo. Just the throw.
And if they start thinking about the grand final losses, of course, APIA the last two, Sydney United 2016. Both lost their last two grand finals. Sydney United losing also in 2000.
Searching ball from Simmons. Gonzalez had to get inventive. Payne with it. Can he provide the service? Hangs it up there to Manos though. Second or third time today. Payne's delivery has let him down. And does like to drift in these wide areas. We'd like to see him trying to get on the end of those balls from out wide. Tantalising battle at Bank West. If you are just tuning in, APIA, Leichhardt 1, Sydney United 58-1. Stays this way, we will go to extra time and potentially penalties, which these two have a track record of against each other. Free kick. Parisi it was, pulling back Fragoyanis. In fact, it was Uzkok.
The game that Adrian Vlastelica has had. Of course, he was the player who inadvertently directed Chris Payne's Rabona in that round 15 game. Later on, diverted that into his own goal for the 1-0 win to APIA.
There's Fragoyanis looking for McDonald. Simmons shows good poise. That'll be the difference in these final moments. Ball to be won there for United. Mayer. Is it for the Reds? In their blue kit today though. Vlastelica been mighty for them.
Gonzalez has just gone down after that. Is that one to keep an eye on?
He's had some injury concerns throughout the season. Missed a number of weeks. Forced them into a bit of a makeshift back four with Bilic. Bakatis there as well. So we do have a history of having to cater to injuries.
Yeah, I think certainly this year there has been a lot of injuries. They play, of course, on the Sydney United Sports Centre surface, which is going to get a makeover in the off-season. It's been much talked about in recent weeks. And because of that, Craig Duncan's come in and they've managed loads, giving players rest at crucial times. I think they've done a really good job, and that's why it's probably been a bit fresher in the finals than they were this time last year.
I mentioned the workload they've had, and they're showing no signs of it at this point. Although APIA trying to catch them napping. Not contended with. Parisi a chance for APIA. Here's a moment. And Parisi, he knows the chance. Goes begging.
Yeah, he fancies himself in that one-on-one situation, driving at Fragigianis. Kept his calm there. The ball got past him, but he didn't panic. Experienced defender.
Almost caught in two minds there. Parisi still there for APIA. Cooter's ball. All Vlastelica.
A great touch there.
And we'll go to United as we tick into the final 10 minutes of normal time. No one's going anywhere. I'm sure there's some fingernails getting shorter, both here at Bank West and at home. Diaz tangling with Matthew Bilic, the man that brought the sides level. This time turning provider, Maitamalo. McGill had it. Payne now. Rose wins that battle. There's mini battles all over the pitch. Bilic in space. Hangs it up there. Too much for McDonald.
You see McDonald driving past. Kuda there. The two fresh players. Kuda wanting to go one way. McDonald testing him the other.
Well, Payne's almost caught them napping. Does well to keep it in. Numbers forward for APIA. Simmons there. Parisi too. Goes in the Simmons direction. And it's Payne looking to provide. And we are going to see a change for Sydney United 58. Christian Gonzalez. So an injury we spoke of can play no further part.
Terrific to have a player of Jordan Roberts. He has played a lot of minutes in the last couple of years for Sydney United as a left and right fullback. Looks like he might come on at right back. You might see Yanni Fragigiannis move over to the left-hand side of defence. Gonzalez, it looked like a bit of a muscle injury perhaps. He's had a very solid game against Corey Bixo. In fact, he's had a very solid final series in the last couple of months since coming back from injury after a long layoff. Roberts does come on at right back and Fragigiannis moves over to the left.
I mentioned the disappointment both sides have had in their history. APIA 5 from 12 in grand finals. Sydney United 58. 4 from 11. So unfortunately for both, they've had to deal in disappointment. Is there some in the final 8 or so minutes of normal time, or do we go to extra time yet again? 2017 decider went to penalties. APIA lost that day to Manly. There's McKeel Haddon. And sets of supporters trying to lure their team on. They've been made to wait for a championship. Uchino. Josh Simmons now. Kuda overlapping. Sit up for the defender. He'll win a corner.
Interesting from Miro Vlastelic. He's now got two fresh players down that right-hand side. I saw Kuda there. That's Michael Kuda. Stock trade. Driving forward down that left-hand side. It was Roberts who came across. Got past McDonald. Two fresh players. Battle down that far side.
Chance at the set piece again. Uchino's delivery. The players got in each other's way. Simmons was one of them. Waitamalo there too. You see some of the APIA faithful. I mentioned earlier Hamilton Atsuri. Sister club, I guess you could say, of APIA Leichhardt.
Great to see the travelling fans from Newcastle. They came out here for a pre-season game and they've struck up a great relationship with the APIA club.
Their journey to get here as well from up there in Newcastle.
Credit to them. Great occasion here at Bankwest. Terrific crowd.
Simmons thought he was fouled, but wants its way to Payne anyway. Trying to play in Bixo. And we've seen in flashes, but he hasn't really got himself into the game. His pace will certainly be an asset if we do go into extra time as players start to fatigue. Sim. Nice to find Anselmi. He has it. Now though, he's the man in form, but he tries to find a teammate. Dangerous ball in. Micheski. Comfortable again. Pull there from Bixo. Coming out of his own end. McDonald. Maya.
In each other's way. I think that ball was intended for Bilic.
He gets inventive as he can. We mentioned that Rabona was audacious, but he'll try those things, and more often than not they come off. And this is how the game was poised at Lambert Park earlier this season. And it was Payne trying something, took a touch of Vlastelica, and suddenly APIA had the win.
He's a player playing with A-League experience, probably wasn't ready at the time, didn't work out for him at Newcastle. He's come back and he's been prolific for Sydney United over the years. And made the move to APIA. It's terrific in the pre-season. He's carried it on.
City attendance 6,426 here tonight. Great to see so many turn out to Bankwest. Such a stage. What a finish we have in store. McDonald. Does he want a corner? No, a goal kick.
He's switched over for now with Bilic, so McDonald, the right footer, has moved over to the left. Bilic, the left foot, has moved over to the right, so they're just playing inverted in these last remaining minutes of the match. They do like to duck inside the wide players, allow the fullbacks to get forward. Just wonder if both teams have gone into their shell a little bit. Of course, the nerves, neither side really wanting to lose so late on.
As we near extra time, both have had experience this final series in that. APIA had to go to a shootout first week to see past Blacktown City FC. Likewise, Sydney United had to go to extra time to see off Marconi and then Blacktown City FC. You're calling that game. There were some goals in extra time in that one. They certainly went to another level.
Yeah, and Sydney United, that's really been their MO in the final series. They've been so good finishing games off. Their fitness has been unbelievable under Craig Duncan. You know, they've really kept players fresh. And against both Marconi, 0-0 at the end of 90 minutes, they finished with a 2-0 victory in extra time. And then Blacktown City, 4 goals in extra time.
It was an amazing night at Willie Holmes Stadium. I thought it would take a toll in terms of the minutes they've played. APIA, of course, had the week off last weekend. I don't know if that's always an asset. Sometimes in finals football, you just want to keep rolling.
Yeah, and certainly for APIA, what they did on Sunday, they brought in some of the under-20s, so they had a bit of a scrimmage game in-house. They trained again on Tuesday and Wednesday night. They brought them in yesterday just for a light session, a light run and tactical session. Came over here for a familiarisation, just to familiarise themselves with the... Didn't do anything on the ground, but just had a bit of a look. Of course, a lot of interest around APIA's run. It looks like we might see a third change of normal time. If it goes to extra time, of course, United will have one extra change. Tomilic is the player who's going to come on. He'll go into the holding midfield role. It's defensive midfielder. Bilic.
So our goal scorers aren't going to see the final whistle. First it was Paul Galimi. Now Matthew Bilic. Made it 1-1. He won't have any further impact. He's had some injury concerns at times this year. Anthony Tomilic.
Likely to come on in the centre of midfield. Anthony Tomilic. It might move Liam Rose into the twin 10 roles alongside Tariq Mayer. And you might see Matt Sim go out to the wide area. That's where he started many of the games this season. Matt Sim. Looks like what Miroslav Stelic has done here. Stelic will screen the defence. Defensive player, defensive-minded central midfielder.
The final seconds of normal time. Surely a goal here will win it. Payne trying to turn the tide for APIA. Throw will go to United.
Stelica puts his hands up there. Got the help of Uzkok. It's been faultless so far.
Yanis wants to play up the other end. Throw will go to APIA. Fourth official has the board in hand. There can't be too many minutes. Mayer going to have 4. So 4 additional minutes here at Bankwest Stadium to get a winner. Without the need for extra time and penalties. We've had to go there twice in the earlier games.
It's been the story of the final series, really. Particularly for Sydney United, this will be the 3rd time in 4 games that they do go overtime. If they can find something in the remaining 3.5 minutes.
Here's Rose. Is that injection off the bench a difference for United late on? Sim. There's Anselmi in the area. McDonald as well. They go in that direction. Anselmi can create some magic. McDonald onto the right boot. Chance here for United. Didn't quite make the connection. It was deflected on its way through.
You can see as soon as Liam Rose has moved into that more attacking role in the midfield, getting his foot on the ball between the lines. It's been terrific force in United. Came across, of course, from the A-League. Spent some time overseas, didn't work for him, and then he's come home. Really happy with how things are. Travels from Central Coast.
Sim tries to find the run of Anselmi. How important was that from Josh Simmons? McGill had it. This is where you need that poise, the experience. Testing the will of all these players. Frago Giannis. United, they look the more confident. Rose with it. There's a goal scorer in Wollongong. Mayer. Roberts will have to race to keep this one in. He's done a good job of it, but can't quite.
You just see Liam Rose really getting his foot on the ball. A couple of delightful balls to find him in those pockets between the midfield and APIA's back four. And if APIA can't deny him that space, it's going to spell danger. He's certainly got the ability to thread that killer ball. He's a real influential player. Chatting to him ahead of the game downstairs. He hasn't cut the hair since they've got on this winning run. Superstition.
Mayer. Anselmi in space. Flag goes up now. That was a nervy moment for the APIA faithful.
There's not too many opportunities. Anselmi, and you know a player of his quality is always going to get one or two moments. United really finishing strongly here, as we've seen right throughout the finals. Seen over the last 7 weeks.
Last so seconds, and Anselmi just starting to break clear of the shackles. They've kept him in check for most of this one, but I saw what he's done this final series. 6 in 7 games.
Really a team that felt they underachieved during the regular season. Sydney United, one of the pre-season fancies, but speaking to Miro Vlastelica, they knew that if they made the finals, they had the ability, the quality to really give it a shake. We're seeing exactly that. They're doing a good job just to hold them out at the moment.
Here's Frago Giannis. Rose. Mayer. Caught a touch again from Moatamalo. Frustration creeping in. Body language of some of these APIA players. Peeling off. Kuda in active space on the other side of the pitch. Diaz. Big So has Payne with him. Big So goes on his own. Numbers forward. And have it again. APIA throw. Some anxious looks at the watch. We'll play no longer. We are off to extra time. They can't sort it out in the 90. And as we've seen, when these two have got together, more often than not, it's gone to a penalty shootout. It happened twice in the final series last year, the preliminary final and the week 1 of the finals. I mentioned earlier, Tony, they've split them, those results, but it's extra time probably suits Sydney United 58 in terms of this year's finals. They have just gone to another level when we've gone past the 90.
We've just seen in the last 5 minutes or so, Liam Rose and Tariq Mayer, they're now in their preferred combination, those twin 10 roles, the Tomalich screening. And you just start to see them take control. They're such talented footballers, in my opinion, both good enough to be playing professionally, and you know, there's so much quality in the New South Wales National Premier League. You are seeing these two youngsters really light it up, and you've seen the quality that they can produce that allows that Sydney United front third to flourish, and they are getting on top. It's a real question now for APIA, you know, their mental strength. We've talked about that. I can't believe how well they've done this season after losing Jordan Murray and Tsuki Sakia. You know, they they've been challenged throughout the season, but they've always dug deep, and they're such a united squad, and that unity now really comes to the fore in this extra time period. The momentum, the legs appear to be with Sydney United.
How amazing is it that we say that, given the workload they've had? How do they have the legs to keep doing this?
And I think it's a credit, obviously, to the way they have managed the squad throughout the season. And I think, they knew that they had to have a heavy squad, a deeper squad this year, because the surface at Denzel Park has had some issues, and it's going to be replaced in the off-season. And I think for them, that's the challenge, So what they've done is manage the loads. Sometimes players want to play, but they've been asked to rest because, there's other games coming. They've got a deeper squad. And I think that's credit to the way they've managed it. It's kept them fresher now coming into the finals, and it's really helping them. APIA will continue to dig deep, and we know they only need a moment. We've seen a couple of half moments for the likes of Parisi in transition later on. Payne as well, Big So.
Who's your money on, Tony, in this one? Mention the goals of Sydney United 58. APIA haven't gone to the benches yet. Do they try to make a change and spark a bit of life into them as we go to extra time?
Yeah, well, apart from Kuda, you look at that bench and they do have a couple of options, a couple of youngsters. Lachlan Hughes is a player who can play in the number 10 role. They can also bring Lachlan Hughes on into the anchor midfield as well. They do bring him on into that anchor midfield. They can move Sam McElhatton into that number 10 or further up. So it's going to be a big challenge. I think the momentum certainly heading into extra time is with Sydney United. It's going to take some effort from APIA to withstand that. Sydney United they'll have the belief, having done it against Marconi and having done it against Blacktown City.
Just feel the anxiety probably rising in the APIA colours. And 2 grand finals before this one, their 3rd straight grand final. Can't have a championship just yet. It's been quite a wait for them. 2003 the last time.
Certainly not been strangers to success. We know, of course, their Waratah Cup record, the great run that they had in the FFA Cup. So they've played in some big games, this team. It's been together for a number of years. They've brought in youngsters like Kuda and McElhatton this season, a couple of experienced players in Payne, and also Tonan Diaz. But there hasn't been a lot of movement in the squad. The core players, the likes of Parisi, Uchino, the Simmons brothers, Boomba, Moatamalo, Ivan Lachevsky. There's a lot of experience out there, and they're going to have to draw on that. Really comes down to mentality now.
Well, we're no closer from where we were at 6 p.m. when we kicked off. No splitting. APIA, Leichhardt and Sydney United 58 in the 90. So we go to extra time. We'll have 30 minutes of it. If it is still level, we are off to penalties. Parisi can't work with Payne. Disjointed those two today. McDonald. Janowicz, too much on that one.
They've got the fresh legs, Sydney United, down the right-hand side with Roberts, down the left-hand side with McDonald. APIA have brought on Kuda to provide some impetus down the left-hand side for them. They become key players as others start to tire.
Sim. Throwing for his side, goes to APIA. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you're watching us. On the NPL New South Wales Facebook page or Football New South Wales YouTube. We are going worldwide. From the weird and wonderful places we have people tuning in for the NPL New South Wales. One thing we do know, they're loving it. Wherever you're watching, I'm sure you're enjoying it. I'm sure you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's been another amazing season. These two storied clubs, two of the great powerhouses of Australian football. So APIA going for their 6th New South Wales Championship, Sydney United going for their 5th. And it's all on the line in extra time.
Here's Uzcock. Roberts now. Tries to find the run of Sim, but Kuda has it. So not giving up on it. Parisi, calmness on the ball. Simmons not so much. Mayer with it. And Selmy peeling off. Kills it with the first touch. Looks up and doesn't have a ton of support, so we'll wait for it to present. And we'll get a throw.
He's got a great record, as we know, in recent weeks. Patrick Gantelmi, 6 in the past 6 in the New South Wales National Premier League. Of course, he scored from the penalty spot in the FFA Cup game against the Wanderers midweek. He's been going to work in extra time periods.
Roberts, Mayer. This is sticking all of a sudden for United. Composure from Uchino, as I say that. Well, he gets fortunate. Kuda with it for APIA. Chase on here. Simmons, will he win the race? Roberts desperate. Simmons got there. No surprise, Vlastelica. Oh, they get in each other's way. Simmons felt Bixo was fouled. Vlastelica, not 100% either.
For the moment that was, Vlastelica stayed down after that. Tomanos wants Fragigiannis to knock it out, but he's back on his feet. So they're playing on.
Giannis getting forward. McDonald. Turning Diaz. 2 former Wollongong Wolves. Throw will go to United.
He's another attacking option, playing that front third.
Flag up on McDonald.
Just wonder if they'll stick with their experienced players. Going slow, tight.
Machevsky. Both keepers haven't had a heap to do, but this is where they earn their money. Simmons, flag stays down. Chance for APIA. Simmons puts them in front. Well, we mentioned the captain hasn't been firing them in all season. It doesn't matter now because he's firing them in at the most crucial time.
They picked their moment, and it was a lovely ball from Payne over the top. Manos committed. Talk about the consistency that he's produced this season. Unfortunately there, he made the decision, he committed. Sean Simmons scoring his 5th of the season, kept his composure. APIA to a T, they pick their moment and they pounce. And they take a 2-1 lead. We talk about that mentality in the big game players. We question whether they might make a change in that front third. You can see why they left the likes of Simmons on.
Well, how cool was that? We mentioned the stakes, the weight APIA have had. Sean Simmons has been through it all, so composed when the moment presented. And didn't he take it? And this game turns again.
The skipper delivers for the APIA Leichhardt Tigers.
United have to fight back again. It's been the story of their finals run.
Not gone behind in extra time during this finals. So it's another challenge for them.
Parisi. Simmons.
Been able to score early in extra time periods. APIA are able to absorb them. They've probably got one against the run of play.
I think so. Good work from him to link with McKill Haddon.
Still running.
Into that final third. I don't know what powers the youngster. Vlastelica caught short. Bixo into the area. Still there for Bixo. Trying to find the room to shoot. He goes down. Did handle the ball though.
Vlastelica stuck to his job there. If he erred the slightest way, it might have been a penalty. Bixo in the box. Using his tight technical futsal skills there to drive that. Vlastelica kept his calm. Been great for Sydney United.
And APIA are readying a change. Nick Stavroulakis, former Sydney United 58 captain.
He's moved over midway point of the season. just to add that depth to the APIA squad in the absence of David DePuzzo. Now that they have the lead.
Here's Mayer. Sim. Flag stays down. Support in the middle. Sim will get it again. Gets in behind Kuda. Chance here for United. Josh Simmons in the way.
Don't think they'll make the substitution just yet. With defending a set piece here. Josh Simmons doing a good job at the near post.
That's been a route to goal this season. How bad they need it here. Sim goes near post. All APIA there. Mayer. Dangerous ball forward. That's Stalitza, the target. And let it run to McDonald. Stalitza in the area, the defender. Trying to find room to shoot. Trying to turn. And to go to goal.
Important challenge, Tomalic.
United aren't going to go away. Dragoyanis. Mayer. This is where we've seen Antelmi. Sim and Co stand up. They need it here. Still plenty of time in extra time. Dragoyanis searching for Antelmi. Doing a great job on him tonight, APIA. Still Stavroulakis waits for that change. Mayer. Dragoyanis. All bar pain behind the ball for APIA. Searching ball again. Josh Simmons in the way. How many times have I said that tonight? Here, Tamalo. Being the rocks defensively. They need to hold it together though and protect this lead.
Sending their fullbacks forward. Piling on the pressure here. APIA have to dig deep. Chino's just reaching for his toes. Trying to stretch at every opportunity. It's going to be some defensive shift from here. Stavroulakis, of course, coming on to give that defensive insurance. Perhaps the next opportunity.
Stalitza. To Melic. Dragoyanis forward. Numbers to aim to in the area. Worked its way to Rose. And Chino, ambitious turn. It came off, thankfully.
Head on shoulders. Michael Haddon kept his calm there coming out.
And he's on the ball. He's a leader, given his young age. He was the captain of the Sydney FC side. Lovely vision from Simmons. Chance for Payne. He'll get a corner.
I saw him score an absolute screamer in that round 4 game from such an acute angle. Volley on the edge of the 18-yard box. One of the strikes of the season. That was a lovely ball. We've seen Sydney United do that earlier in the game to create their equaliser.
It will be McKill Haddon to make way. Stavroulakis. Still they don't want to make the change. Give him the set piece.
Chino's getting a massage in the back play.
Corey Bixo, masseuse. As APIA going to the corner flag. Now we saw them do this against Blacktown City FC, which was prematurely in the end because Blacktown got the ball and scored.
Corey Gibbs scoring it very, very late.
And it could happen here again. McDonald, Antelmi, and Sim, the only ahead of him, goes in the direction of Sim.
I think with 20 minutes remaining of extra time, that's a sign that will encourage Sydney United. The fact that APIA want to start killing time from now on. We are going to see that change, and it is going to be the Don, Franco Parisi, who's going to be replaced here. What a season it's been. The Ultra Football Team of the Year announced yesterday. Parisi in that. He's going to come on for another stalwart of the New South Wales National Premier League, Nick Stavroulakis. He'll come on in the holding role. You might see APIA go to a midfield 3, a more flat midfield 3 here. And maybe Sam McElhatton will be released a bit higher. I think it'll be a flat midfield 3. just to add that insurance. So they've sacrificed the number 10 role. They've gone to Stavroulakis splitting Uchino and McElhatton. I think they'll stay fairly compact and just play with the front three.
Simmons, long ball. Free kick, will come back. Simmons was fouled by Roberts. Well, Stavroulakis spent 5 years with Sydney United 58, over 100 games, club captain. So it's a real story. Made a move mid-season to APIA. Captain Sutherland to the 2019 championship, scored in the 2008 grand final. So he's got a history of success in grand finals. And Simmons. APIA have the lead. Can they keep it? Diaz. Bixo overlapping. Stalitza tidies up. And again goes for that corner flag. Safety first option. Free kick goes the way of United. To Milic. Dragoyanis. Quite desperation stakes just yet. Sydney United 58. Crazy finals ride continues. To Milic. Hope you're happy to just get numbers behind the ball. To Marlowe, easy to contend with that.
It's one or so of the first period of extra time. United have been on the front foot since going behind. That wonderful Sean Simmons lob. Roberts. Seen that game earlier this year at Lambert Park. United really struggled to break down APIA when they went down to 10 men. Similar defensive philosophy here. Mayer hangs it up into the area. Again, it's Moatamalo. Talk about a man of the match honour. He'd be in the conversation, you feel. Yeah, certainly. Just having a look down at the past winners of the Robbie Slater Man of the Match award. Not sure how many have been on the losing side. This man, Vlastelic, has certainly been.
Sim and Telmi turning. Simmons, just as he looked to shoot, Simmons came and took the ball away.
They've been very strong, those two in the centre of defence. It's been a game for defenders.
Up again, Machevsky. A little bit more penetration, United.
And Telmi, who's been the real hot hand for Miro Vlastelic's men. Every time he gets the ball, they've just shut him down really well, not giving him a sniff.
So 1 minute of time added on to complete the first period of extra time. Wooscock. Sim. Hands it up for McDonald. Almost sat for the Wolf. He's going to get a yellow card. Unfortunate there for him. He was waiting for the ball to drop to try a volley, but didn't drop in time and no connection with the head, so fair enough.
Great stuff as well from Watamalo. It's been an up and down season for Kemba Watamalo. He's in and out of the APIA side at times. It's caused that red card against Sydney United back in round 15. But since then, I think he's really buckled down and got on with the job. I called a game against Wollongong earlier in the season where he made some uncharacteristic errors, but he's been very good alongside Josh Simmons in the centre of defence.
Foul eats up some precious seconds. Just about take us to half time in extra time. Confirmation of that. It's a quick break from us. We'll be back with the second half of extra time.
You can be whatever you want to be. Be a game designer. Be a winemaker. pickup artist. Be hands-on, be industry trained, be in demand. Be smart with your money through affordable programs at TAFE. Scholarships and fee support available. Be ambitious. Enroll today.
So, chance for players from both sides to talk it over. Their final instruction for the season. Sydney United have 15 minutes to rescue this one. Plenty of people counted them out before the finals began. They weren't assured of finals place when we started round 22. They got into fourth. They saw off their local rivals Marconi week 1 in extra time. They then had to go to extra time to see off Blacktown City FC. They then beat the premiers Wollongong. This is their one final effort to find a way back to level pegging and potentially penalties if it stays level.
So they felt they had the momentum heading into the extra time. APIA we questioned and we asked. They need to dig deep. It's all about the mentality, and they've shown that. They pick and choose their moments. They got the ball forward. Payne found Sean Simmons. That execution was bang on. They're going to get together in the middle of the park again and just summon that every ounce of togetherness and mentality for this last 15 minutes and try and hang on to this 2-1 lead. It's been the story. We've gone from the APIA entertainers to the APIA pragmatists. It's all about getting the job done. John Collage's done an amazing job. Third coach in as many years, third grand final in as many years.
And they'll take it any way it comes. We've had disappointment the last 2 grand finals. APIA. Does that change in 2019? The next 15 minutes will tell us.
This is both these coaches, first-time grand finalists. As first-team coaches, Clay just had some experience as an assistant here at APIA and Melita. Long-time coach across the New South Wales scene. Stelitzer also in his first grand final.
Here's McDonald. Those changes looking to make an impact. He's trying to find the byline. He'll find a corner. Majewski hasn't really put a foot wrong today, but this will test the nerves of the most experienced campaigner out there.
Hiscock's gone forward. He's gone to the near post. Try and make it difficult. Wonder if that's where Tariq May will go.
Goes to that near post you spoke about. It's in the back of the net, is it? It needed a touch. It was Antelmi.
It was Uchino on the line.
Hiscock
somehow
throwing his body around. It came to Antelmi. He's been such a poacher this season. Here is the replay.
Somehow APIA survived this.
Off the line. What a moment at Bankwest Stadium.
I wonder in a moment like that whether the destiny, the luck which has deserted them in the last couple of grand finals, is it with them? See a moment like that.
Well, talking to the APIA camp, and everyone said it just feels like it's our year. Well, there's a sure sign of it perhaps. Not done with yet. United applying all the pressure. Have they put the cue in the rack a little too early? Hiscock. Might be the last time. Antelmi searches for an equaliser. Let's play his tyre to Melic. Flago Giannis. That's the Litz's ball. Had plenty on it. He did it well though. Maya shooting.
Love that technique. He just took it on the touch just to tee up the volley. Couldn't get it down and under the bar. But Tariq Maya, former West Sydney Wanderers Academy player, is used to the turf here at Parramatta. Fortunately for him, he couldn't get that one down under the bar, but been showing his quality.
Body language It's positive for Sydney United 58. And some tired bodies for APIA. Josh Simmons stretching out that hammy. Corey Bigso starting to cramp, you feel. So the side that's been the busier, looking the fresher.
Having the ball does that to you. Certainly without the ball, it's much harder.
Free kicks go to APIA.
Sydney United model, isn't it? Keep the ball, let the other team do the work defensively. But APIA, they've done the work, they've dug very deep, and they're on the brink of something special.
Simmons, he's the man that has APIA in the lead. As he fouled, he is. Free kick, right in front of those APIA faithful, you see.
Exactly what you want from your skipper, just to hold the ball up, commit the defender, win the free kick, lead a few seconds up, 2-1 lead. John Kalaja chewing vigorously on that gum.
In they go. Safety first. Sean Simmons goes to the corner flag. This is a premature approach. Still plenty of time for Sydney United 58. They try and find a third and put this one to bed. They've won a corner though. Chris Payne it is. Does not give up.
3-1 was the scoreline, of course, back in round 4. APIA winning away at Sydney United Sports Centre. Got a 2-1 lead at the moment. Josh Simmons has gone forward and making sure they're numbered up in rest defence. We've got 5 on 4 at the back, making sure they have one spare.
And it's taken short. Free kick goes to United. Someone saying he won the ball. Felipe Abraham doesn't agree.
Great images coming across our live stream. Across the fans here. Active ends for APIA. The eastern side.
Fagoyanis gets a free kick. Bigso asked the question. Presents a chance for United, and set piece. They came within an inch of an equaliser. The things change here.
And it was Tariq Mayer on the delivery on that occasion. And he's back over the ball here. This talented youngster. Lastelita wants it at the back post. Uscock's in there.
Energy rises at Bankwest Stadium. Mayer's delivery. Machevsky hasn't got there. Thought he was fouled. It's a corner. APIA looking at each other, pointing fingers.
See if body's in the way in the end. I think it came off Josh Simmons. Machevsky's.
So Sim to take. Pressure mounting on APIA. United looking for an equaliser. Machevsky. Cool as you like.
Exactly what you want from your keeper. Deep into extra time. And lovely release. It was his release that set up Payne earlier in the season.
Here's Bigso. Burns a couple of United players. Into the area he goes. Waits for the support to come. Still fighting for it, but giving away a free kick. So just about 8 minutes. Sydney United 58 to find a goal. To Melich. Roberts now. Tired bodies out there, also in the APIA camp. Would have thought that. United 5 games in 14 days. They need to lift again though. They are to keep their championship dreams alive. Fagoyanis it is. And Telmi pushes it for McDonald. McDonald made an impact off the bench. Still going, McDonald. Stavroulakis had to be careful with that challenge. He did it well, though. Countless times, that's where experience is so crucial, these big moments.
Just dropping into that pocket, allowing McDonald Went past a couple of players, but he was there to help out the defence. Great play to bring on late in the game when you have a lead. You need that experience just to give you the insurance. Gives the ball away on that occasion though. United can come forward.
There is Sim. Numbers surging forward for United. Sim hopes to pick one of them out. APIA doing a good job of just stopping their momentum forward. To Milic. Lastalitsa. Done everything but score for his side today. Giannis waited.
Big so. And sleeves up, so to speak, doing the defensive work, helping out.
McDonald thought he was fouled. Simon Diaz.
It's been the purpose with which APIA have gone about their season. Behind the fact that they lost Jordan Murray, of course, to Central Coast Mariners, to Sukusakia, moving over to Melbourne, to the Victorian Premier League. Avondale.
Here's Roberts. Too long to get his cross in. Sean Simmons read it well. And Simmons wins that battle, wins the goal kick. 5.5 minutes remain in extra time. Is it APIA's time? Sydney United 58 fans willing their team on. Had an impact in Wollongong last weekend. Can they bring them back again? Send us to penalties. If you're new to the NPL New South Wales, there's always late drama. Just when you think the script is written, it very quickly changes. We saw that just a fortnight ago. APIA, they've done the job over Blacktown. Joey Gibbs in the final seconds. And can APIA find a third goal and put this one to bed?
They're going to give the man of the match award to a player on the losing side. I think certainly Lastalitsa continues to be so solid in the centre of that defence.
Payne wrestling with that man you speak of, Lastalitsa. Giannis won the battle, was clipped in the process.
They need to find something, maybe a hero.
Time not on their side. Tarek Mayer wants to get a move on. McDonald. Rose had to win it. Giannis, he's another who's been mighty for United. Mayer's ball couldn't find Sim. Sean Simmons again. Talked about the stars standing up when you needed them the most.
Seems such an experienced player, peels out wide here. Can he provide a moment of influence?
There's Rose to hit, and tell me too.
Right on the same wavelength there with Antelmi. Wanted someone to go in behind. Maybe you can just about taste it.
It'll be 3 anxious minutes. And fans in both camps, whether you're APIA or Sydney United 58. It's been a thrilling season. Is there an exclamation mark on it? Payne with it. 4 on 3 at the back.
Michael Haddon still running.
Here he is, the youngster. He go on his own. Lastalitsa again. Talk about what's powering McIlhatton, what's powering that man. Lastalitsa, given the workload. Wooscock stayed forward. Uses the body well.
Very well.
Now it's APIA looking a little stretched.
Going up as a makeshift striker, Tomislav Wooscock.
Crowd rises. Sim, jinking. He's unselfish to Mayer. Now Chris Payne's off and running the other way.
If we'll take this into the corner and just eat the seconds away. Experience coming out here.
Enough to Put the killer blow into his former club.
United doubling up, doing well.
2 minutes remain.
Imagine it's Thomas Love-Uscock, part of that 2016 losing side. Stayed up in that front third here. And with Antelmi, the ball comes in.
Mayer sends it 40, aimed for Uscock, but tired attempt from the defender. Again, it's Payne, 1v1. He and Vlastelica. Can he provide the icing on the cake? Showing his fatigue, the striker.
Thought he might have taken a first-time effort there with Tom Manos off his line.
Apia ready a change as well. Dom Nasrabadi will get a brief cameo. Chris Payne is down. Could be for their leading striker this season. 23 goals. Had an influence, if not on the goal sheet today.
Michael Haddon looks as fresh as anyone out there.
Simmons just helps it forward. Final minute of extra time. Is there a miracle for Sydney United 58? Desperation stuff. Mayer helps it forward. McDonald. Touch let him down. And the throw will go to Apia, and they will make that change. It's going to be Corey Bixo. Dom Nasrabadi to come on. Precious seconds taken off the clock. Apia in possession as well.
Out on their feet for large parts of this match, but they've dug so deep. The mentality, mental strength John Collager's really tried to instill in this side.
In fact, the double change, Chris Payne can play no further part. He's been such a part of their success this season. 23 goals. And Lachlan Hughes gets a chance. Time is up at Bankwest Stadium.
Difficult year for Lachlan Hughes on a personal level, so it's great to see him on the pitch. Made in this one.
Nasrabadi. Nice touch for him in the grand final. Nikhil Haddon slips. Tomelic takes it quickly. Rose. It'll be Route 1 stuff from United. Apia fans crying out for the final whistle. So anxious looks at the watch.
You can just about taste it in motion. They can hang on.
Manos will send it forward. Goes in the Uscock direction. Oh, it's come to him, the defender. Cries of handball as well. There it is. The wait is over. Third time lucky for Apia. After the heartbreak of the last two grand final defeats, they are the champions in 2019, and the 16-year wait for another premiership is over.
Amazing scenes here. The fuel of the last two seasons, falling short on the big dance. They've come here, they've been committed to the cause. John Collager's guided them right through the process. And they've been, at times, shaken by Sydney United. They've been on the back foot for large parts, but they've shown incredible mentality. And it is congratulations to the APIA Leichhardt Tigers, 2019 NPL New South Wales champions. You've got to feel for Sydney United. They are distraught. They had an amazing run. They also wanted success. They haven't tasted it for quite some time. And they're shattered. Thought they had the momentum, but it's been a remarkable end to their season. They've given this championship a shake. Well, the spoils are with Apia.
Look what it means to them. It's been a tough last 2 years. They've been dominant at times, claiming premierships. They haven't been able to get the job done on grand final day. Well, they've changed that in 2019. The crowning achievement and what has been a phenomenal run in recent seasons. It's their 6th NPL New South Wales title, now just 2 behind Blacktown City FC. And Sydney United 58. We do have to send commiserations. They have been mighty in this final series. The workload they've had to endure their sheer performances, the turnaround in the last few weeks of the season, and the road here, certainly not easy. They saw off Marconi, their big rivals, Blacktown City FC, and then the Wollongong Wolves, who are the premiers. Can't discount the success they had this season, the Wolves. It's been one hell of a season, and just when we think the NPL New South Wales season can't be topped, somehow it is.
Yeah, it continues to produce year on year. Of course, APIA, they've been here, they've missed out. It's really given them the fuel, I think, to come back and do it in 2019. Of course, we talk about the record of premiership to championship. They missed out in 2017. Last year they thought that they could turn that around against Sydney Olympic. They've been able to do it from second spot this year. Times they really have looked like it might be a difficult scenario for them to challenge for the title this year. And that's why I say about the amazing mental strength of this squad. The buy-in from the players. John Collages challenged them not to be the entertainers. Let's be the pragmatists if we have to be. And they've produced the goods. And today's performance was exactly everything that APIA have produced this season. Defensive solidity, the commitment, the mental strength, the experience really come out in the unity, and they deserve to enjoy these scenes.
Well, Sean Simmons is the hero. It is his goal that wins the championship for APIA. And I mentioned when he scored it, he hasn't scored the volume this year, but he's had to play a different role.
Yeah, correct. And that the defensive solidity, that discipline, Corey Bixo and Sean Simmons have in a way been sacrificed as part of that structure to make sure they have to do the defensive work, because I mentioned earlier that the need to play smarter. Without Jordan Murray and Tasuka Sakia, who did a powerhouse of pressing in that front third, Parisi and Payne are not the kind of guys that you can go and press opponents. So they've been given the licence not to do the defending. That's meant that Sean Simmons and Corey Bixo have had to drop in, tuck in alongside Uchino and Sam McElhatton. And it's almost become a midfield four, you know, rather than those two wide attacking players. But when they get the chance to go forward, they've shown that right throughout the season. They only have to win a game by one goal. And it is very much the APIA recipe in 2019.
Well, it doesn't matter how you win it, you just have to win it. And don't they know that story, APIA, given what they've endured in recent seasons. But the 16-year wait is over. 2003, the last time they were champions, they defeated Blacktown City 3-1 on that occasion. And then the heartbreak, 2017, they lost on penalties to Manly United. Last year to Sydney Olympic, 3-1. They have their championship now in 2019. They're about to receive it as we ready the presentations. But, well, it's been a thrilling day of action here at Bankwest Stadium. We went to 2 shootouts in the youth games before, but extra time decides it here at Bankwest. And great to see so many come out and support this competition, because it is on the rise.
Yeah, terrific to see the growth in growth. We've obviously been streaming out of New South Wales for the last couple of seasons, and we've seen the growth this year, of course, live streaming every single game, the awareness of the competition, the quality of the competition. I think there's a clear need, in my opinion, for a national second division to give players of this quality a platform to play at professional level. And you know, this is what we've got against the New South Wales National Premier League. We've seen a lot of players come out of the A-League, the likes of Liam Rose, Tariq Mayer today. You know, they're quality footballers, and we've seen that right throughout the season yet again. Just seeing Sydney United fans turned up in droves right throughout the season, but particularly in their finals run. Fortunate seeing Glenn Trefiro, who's been a real key for them across the years, on crutches today. He suffered an injury right on the eve of the championship. They've been able to do it without him, but at the end of the day, APIA, I think they had so much belief today coming in, and while Sydney United had the belief as well, APIA just really wanted that after 2 years where they haven't tasted the success.
500 plus fans in their active support. Sydney United 58. They should be congratulated how they've supported their side throughout the final series. Got out there all the way to Wollongong last weekend. I actually rode home as part of the cavalry unintended, but was a part of it anyway. And they were certainly enjoying things going back to Sydney. Not so much this afternoon, but they should celebrate once the pain, I guess, if today goes away. If it does for 12 months. APIA spoke about how hard it was to get back into the swing after their grand final defeat. But certainly plenty to be proud of this year for them.
Yeah, I think certainly looking ahead to next year, I think going into this season they might have wanted to challenge for the premiership. Wollongong got off to a flyer. Congratulations, of course, to Luke Wiltshire. We can't forget that the contribution of Wollongong this season, their run in the premiership was just outstanding. They got off to a flyer. They really, took it to teams like APIA in the start of the year and posed some questions. But that shows you the mentality. These guys are very experienced, both these sides, and they were able to push through that and be here on grand final day. And APIA are really going to enjoy this. I think the party's going to kick on at Lambert Park. I'm sure it will kick on into the early hours of tomorrow morning.
It'll kick on for some time. It will be a Father's Day to remember, I think, for a few of them. And all those APIA fans who have been, of course, with the club for a long, long time. They have such a proud history and they get to write another chapter of it here at Bank West. Presentation not too far away, but we do have to make mention of some special performances. We will find out the Robbie Slater medal momentarily. For Sydney United 58, I mentioned him a few times in commentary, Adrian Vlastelica I thought was superb for them.
Yeah, I think certainly, his contribution along with Uskok in the second half of the season, but today he was outstanding. Obviously had the big job on Payne, and I think in the main he kept Payne fairly quiet, so great job by him. He kept his calm also, coming out with possession, so yeah, great contribution from him. I thought Mayer at times and Liam Rose at times also did well.
Temba Muatamalo as well.
Terrific for APIA, along with the likes of McElhatton and also Uchino in that midfield. Continue to work and work.
First of all, I'll say a big congratulations to the grand final winners down here today, APIA Tigers, the 2019 champions.
And of course, commiserations to Sydney United, who put on one heck of a performance down here themselves. Football New South Wales would firstly like to thank the representatives from the FFA, Football New South Wales board members, life members and standing committee and media representatives for attending tonight's game. Football New South Wales would also like to thank the following sponsors: TAFE New South Wales, Wholesale Trophies, MIDA, the official ball sponsor of the NPL. Of course, for their support and invaluable and much appreciated support throughout the season. Last but not least, you guys, the family, the friends, the football fans, for turning up tonight and making such a great atmosphere down here at Bank West Stadium, so thank you. Now, the first award this evening is the Robbie Slater Man of the Match Award. It was instigated to honour the tough tackling, attacking midfielder who spent his early years developing his own football in our own backyard here in New South Wales before heading overseas to forge a successful footballing career abroad in France and of course in England. Past winners of this prestigious medal include Blake Powell, Kieran Backus, Danny Choi and of course last year's winner Alex Sanchez. Unfortunately, Robbie Slater can't join us here this evening, so I would like to welcome our Football New South Wales Director, Carlos Gonzalez, to the stage to present this award. The winner of the Robbie Slater Man of the Match Award from APIA Tigers, their number 16 and captain, Sean Simmons. Yeah, well done. We'll hear a few words from Sean in just a minute. Now, of course, football in tonight's game would not be possible as well without our incredible officials. I would also now like to welcome the CEO of Football New South Wales, Stuart Hodge, to the stage. And can we please have a big round of applause for our officials this evening? The referee, Ben Abraham. The assistant referees Andre Give and assistant referee Bradley Wright. And the fourth official, Kurt Ams. Thank you, Stuart. Okay, for the runners-up here this evening, I would like to get the Football New South Wales Director, James Chakudi, up onto the stage. And of course, the captain of Sydney United, number 22, Yanni Fraser-Giannis, to come and say a few words to the Sydney United fans out here tonight. Can we please put our hands together, please, for Yanni? It's never easy, of course, coming up as captain.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate APIA on winning the grand final. They were up there all season. Well done, boys. To my guys, it's been an inconsistent year, as we know, but to fight the way we did, to come through in the semis and the schedule that we've had, I couldn't be prouder of every one of you. So thank you, boys, and the coaching staff. I'll call boys one by one. Also, a special mention to Peter Markovic. Today was his last game. To spend 22 years at the one club, it's pretty rare in modern day football. So I need to make a special mention to him. I'd like to call him up first. The rest of the squad, Matthew Bilic, Anthony Tomilic, Tomislav Uskok, Christian Gonzalez, Tariq Mayer, Matthew Sim, Peter Simonovsky, Liam Rose, Patrick Antelmi, Daniel Sadaka, Josh McDonald, Jordan Roberts, Thomas Manos, Adrian Vlastelica, Luke Vlastelica, Ante Vidlic, and the coaching staff, Jerry Belokovic, Zelko Kalat, and Miro Vlastelica.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please put our hands together for the runners-up this evening, Sydney United. I'd like to ask Football New South Wales Director Carlos Gonzalez to come back on stage, please. It is now time to present the NPL first grade champions to APIA Tiger. We'll get the captain back up here for a few words. Number 16, Sean Simmons, to say a couple of words to the fans and of course introduce the team to us as well.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. Really appreciate the support. Unbelievable. And Sydney United supporters, you were great too. I just want to congratulate United on getting into the grand final. You've done an unbelievable job. But he's had a lot of games in the last 2 weeks, and to play like he did, just want to say congrats to the boys. Unbelievable. It's taken us 3 years, but we fucking done it. Well done, lads. Franco Parisi. Josh Simmons. Adrian Uccino. Nick Stavroulakis. Paul Galimi. Temba Matamalo. Corey Bisco. Dom Najabadi. Sam Giulisano. Ivy Naseski. Tynan Diaz. Chris Payne. Sam Mickelham. Michael Kuda. Luke Turnbull. Lachlan Hughes. Michael Tchaikovsky. Michael Sawan. David DePuzzo. Johnny Kalija. Joe Calibrio. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, APIA Tigers fans, get ready to make some noise. I'm going to get Carlos to bring down the championship trophy down for you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the National Premier League New South Wales Men's 2019 champions. Let's make some noise for APIA Tigers! It is going to be one heck of a party. To all the fans that came out here, a very big thank you. On behalf of Football New South Wales, I hope you had a great night. And to all the fathers, happy Father's Day tomorrow. Get home safely and take care.
Well, there you have it. APIA are the champions in 2019, and may well they celebrate for a long, long time. They're off to Lambert Park to party the night away, perhaps the week away. That heartbreak of the last 2 years washed away with this championship. Tony, what a season it's been.
Yeah, remarkable season and a remarkable finish, a great grand final that went all the way to extra time. APIA showing the mental strength, using the fuel from the last couple of years to really give them the energy in that extra time period when it looked like Sydney United had the momentum. Phil, just seeing Peter Markovic walk off. Of course, today he didn't get on the field, but what a career he's had in the New South Wales National Premier League for this club, Sydney United. It is his last outing today, while he didn't get on the field. It's been a remarkable career for him. They belongs to APIA Leichhardt Tigers. They are the fitting 2019 champions. Congratulations to them. And John Kalaja has done an amazing job with his experienced bunch of United players, and they have shown the mental strength today, I feel, that really got them over the line.
There you see the travelling APIA fans. They will celebrate here at Bankwest Stadium. It has been, as I said, a historic occasion here at Bankwest Stadium, the first competitive game of football at this new venue. So privileged for NPL New South Wales to have that honour and to turn on the game we have seen. had to go to extra time. We need to thank some people before we get out of here.
Yeah, it's been an amazing season right across the board. Obviously to the team that puts the live streams together all season, obviously the team from Sportscast, the camera crew, our commentators right across the board, our media team at Football New South Wales do an amazing job every week of producing so much content. We've absolutely enjoyed bringing it to you on a weekly basis. It's been a pleasure. We thank our viewership every week, turning up in droves across our live streams, fueling us with positivity. Really love the competition, and I think it's a competition that goes from strength to strength every year. It's been an amazing season.
It's not over just yet. We have more grand finals tomorrow at Valentine Sports Park. Super Sunday women's football takes its grip on the calendar. Sydney University and the Northern Tigers. I'll be calling that one with Nicola Posda. So I'm off home to do some research. It doesn't stop, does it? But what a day it has been. Obviously, we have to thank everyone that's been watching throughout the year and today. Thank you for your support, as always, in the NPL New South Wales. Tony, thank you.
Yeah, Adam, it's been great. Thank you for your company today across the season as well. We've really enjoyed it. It's been a wonderful occasion here at what was the old Parramatta Stadium, now Bank West Stadium. It's a stadium that's hosted so much amazing nights in Australian football history. Grand final after grand final throughout the 80s, 90s and early 2000s in the NSL era. Now playing host to a great occasion here in the New South Wales National Premier League.
And a new chapter of APIA. The 16-year wait is over. They are the champions again of the NPL New South Wales. May well they celebrate.